Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Welcome, one and all. We've got a lot to cover. I'm going to start with this big battleship announcement of President Trump's, the new Trump class of battleship. The first one's going to be the USS Defiant. Someone in the Trump administration, maybe it's the president himself, are huge fans of Star Trek because the Defiant is a very famous starship in both Star Trek Deep Space Nine and the original series. And the Space Force logo and emblem looks just like the Star Trek symbol on their shirts from the original series. But I want to talk about this battleship announcement yesterday. And I'll play some of the audio. We'll go through the details of it. And I'll tell you why President Trump is doing this. And many of you may not know, but I think a lot of you do know. But many people are what I refer to oftentimes as liberally impaired, meaning they don't know what's going on about much of anything. That's why they're liberal. The more informed and educated you become, well, that's the path to being red-pilled, okay, and becoming MAGA. But the United States, we do not have any battleships. The last battleship was decommissioned in the early 90s when George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, Bush 1 was president. Might have been 92. Around that time is when the last battleship was decommissioned. And we don't have any battleships. And President Trump, I've noticed something about President Trump in this second term. I started to notice this in the campaign. He has really read a lot of biographies and histories involving former and great presidents. And if you remember, it was Teddy Roosevelt, who was president, vice president, and before that, Secretary of the Navy and all of that. He sent around the world what was referred to as, now again, when I tell you this, the liberally impaired people will think this is a racist term, but no, the Great White Fleet. The Great White Fleet was sent around the world by Teddy Roosevelt, which was a naval fleet of our latest ships, including a battleship, and they sailed the world. And the Great White Fleet sailed, and I'll tell you why it was called that in a minute. The Great White Fleet sailed around the world to establish American, well, ingenuity, superiority, and greatness. And it scared the living daylights out of people. It was called the Great White Fleet because the ships were actually painted the color white. Why that is, I'm not sure, but they were painted white, so it was called the Great White Fleet. And President Trump is modeling this after that, I bet you. I didn't hear him say it yesterday, but I've been very sick the last few days, so he may have said it, and I wasn't feeling too well and missed it. But that's what this is modeled after. And what President Trump has done, President Trump's done many things to display American greatness. And what President Trump has done overall is press this major reset button globally, where he's resetting the planet Earth into its proper place, with the United States being the oldest democracy in the world, as the leader of the world, not just the free world, but of the world. And the American way of life is the best way of life, okay? Yeah, it's true. And he has, one of the many great things he's done, we're seeing this with Colombia, with the drug cartels, but yesterday he was talking about Colombia with the cocaine factories and the president there. He's establishing American dominance in the Americas. And this naval blockade around Venezuela that's been there a week or so, which is the largest naval blockade in the history of the Western Hemisphere, far larger and greater than the Cuban Missile Crisis blockade around Cuba. He is stabilizing Latin America, stabilizing the Americas, and our Navy is being used for the very first time, really. If you can include the Cuban Missile Crisis if you want, but the Navy, other than the Cuban Missile Crisis, is being used for the first time to protect America since a long time ago, okay? And this is a great thing that he is doing. And these battleships are going to be massive. I can only imagine how big they're going to be. I mean, you see how big some of these cruise ships are now, you know, or some of these super oil tankers that are out there right now. They're so big, it's hard to imagine that they're able to float, but they are. And these Trump-class aircraft battleships that he announced yesterday are going to be the biggest things ever built so far as battleships. And a lot of people will say, well, do we need them with the... If you look at the modern Navy, while aircraft carriers are impressive, most naval ships are small and kind of weakly looking. They're not menacing. And the purpose of the battleships is not just to display American greatness and ingenuity and tech, but it's to scare the daylights out of people that we have this amazing technology, an amazing country, and these amazing battleships scare the daylights out of people. And it'll be nice to see battleships, American battleships, leading fleet groups as opposed to aircraft carriers that have a bunch of small escort vessels. This is a great thing. And it's great for the economy because our shipbuilders are going to be working and all of that. But it's also great for saving lives. Lives will be saved by the intimidation factor from these battleships. And it's an interesting thing because we're gonna start to hear today, it may have started last night, but we're going to start to hear the detractors. We're going to hear all these liberals tell us that, we don't need battleships anymore and all that. No, we do need battleships. We need to display American greatness. It's been a long, this country has been taken over by weirdos, freaks, and corrupt public officials like Joe Biden, Tim Walz, Letitia James, and many others. And they have just conditioned so many people in this world of ours to think American greatness is something that's bad, right? That to think American greatness is racist or ethnocentric. No, American greatness is great. This is the greatest country in the world. We're number one in everything that's important and positive, right? Everybody around the world wants to come here more than anywhere else. That's why they fight so hard to get here. And displaying American greatness is not something we should shy away from. But you'll watch these detractors, and they'll tell us that, oh, well, we don't need these anymore. We don't need them. We've got all these other weapons. There's an intimidation factor with it, right? This is the space program, the space race against the Russians to get to the moon. We're the only country to send people to the moon and return them safely to the Earth again. No one else has done that. And that's a great thing. And it showed American dominance. And there's nothing wrong with America being dominant in the world. You guys agree with that? Absolutely. So I've got a lot to cover today. I'll go through some of the clips from the press conference yesterday with the President, Pete Hegseth, and Marco Rubio and the Navy Secretary. We'll go through all of that. And I was off yesterday because I was sick. I still am sick. I'm just full of Dayquil right now. So you're going to have to bear with me. And I was sick at the end of last week. I just didn't realize it. I was really tired Thursday, especially Friday. And when Friday's show was over, I was like, oh, I was wiped out. And I did do a podcast on Saturday morning, which was a very good podcast. And then after that, I was going to do another podcast in the after. I couldn't do it. And I did. So this is my first time live doing a show. Well, I did do a live stream this morning in front of Starbucks, but this morning's my first time back live streaming since Saturday. And so I took 2 days off of YouTube. Yesterday morning, I got up with every intention to go live yesterday, and I couldn't get out of bed to go to the shower. I was so tired, and I am now, and I've been up since about 10:30 last night. I did a live stream this morning. My wife told me around 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was just dozing off for the night, that Adam the Woo had died, famous YouTuber, and I wasn't able to go to sleep all night long learning about the passing of Adam the Woo. It's really a sad passing, and I did do about a half-hour live stream on that this morning, but I'll talk about him a little bit today on this stream too. But I lost a lot of people this year, right? Lost Charlie Kirk.
Welcome everyone, Adam.
Yeah, and here's Adam on one of his vlogs.
Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here.
Yeah, he was found dead in his home yesterday afternoon, and I am a big, huge fan of Adam the Woo. I've been watching him for years and years and years, and I was just shocked. His last vlog went up on Sunday, and it's with the Grinch, and he went all through Celebration, Florida with the Grinch. And it's a very happy, positive vlog, and he was in a great mood and all. And then he didn't have a vlog yesterday. And there's another YouTuber that I follow. His name is the German in Venice. And what the news reports are saying is the German in Venice went to Adam's house. Let me see if I can pull him up. Went to his house yesterday. I guess they were going to vlog together. And welcome. He didn't answer. This is German, and he's a German guy who lives in Venice, California. And he was German in Venice was inspired to move from Germany to Venice because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And while German in Venice has the same accent as Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can see he obviously doesn't look like him. And German in Venice, it's being reported, went to Adam the Woo's house yesterday, and Adam didn't answer. And he became concerned, and he called the police. And I'm hoping we hear today from German in Venice about that, because it's if I just went to some guy's house that I was going to do something with on a weekday and he didn't answer, I would just think he was sleeping or was out. I don't think I would call the police for a wellness check. So I'm curious as to what inspired German in Venice to call the police for a wellness check. And the police went to his house around 12 noon yesterday-ish, between 12 and 12:30, knocked, there was no answer, and they left. And then there's a report that a friend of his, we don't know who yet, they've not been named in the media accounts, borrowed a ladder, put it on the side of Adam's house because it was a two-story house. It says third floor. I didn't realize, I think it's a two-story house, but it says third floor in the news. A friend borrowed a ladder, climbed up, and looked in Adam's window and saw him unresponsive in the bed. And I don't think German in Venice climbed the ladder to the second or third story of anything. And then the police came back and they found him. And his father, Adam's father, made the announcement on Facebook that Adam the Woo has left us. And Justin Scard, who's another YouTuber that I've watched for many, many years. Let me pull up Justin Scard too. He's very good friends with Adam the Woo. Adam the Woo got Justin Scard started on YouTube, and he has a really good channel. This is Justin Scard, and he announced on Instagram last night that Adam died of natural causes. And hopefully soon we'll find out what exactly happened. But after I found out Adam the Woo had died, I just couldn't go back to sleep. It just really touched me out. I met him a few times, 3 or 4 times, and he was just a great guy. And if you're a regular watcher of YouTube, you'll see a lot of people giving their little final videos and comments about Adam the Woo, and you hear the ones I've seen already. You're going to see a similar theme. He was such a nice guy, or he inspired them to become YouTubers. And the last time I ran into Adam the Woo and I talked to him, I told him this. I started watching when he first started on YouTube. Adam the Woo, he had a job at a feed store in Kissimmee, Florida, and just punched a clock, however much they pay to work in a feed store. And he just quit his job. He had a broken down van. He didn't have any money. He wasn't monetized on YouTube, and he got in his van and started doing these vlogs on YouTube with no money, not being monetized, nothing, living in this really broken down van, eating cheese and crackers and tuna fish, and filming roadside attractions in abandoned places throughout the United States. And he grew that to a very large following, with 2 YouTube channels, and became very, very successful. And he passed away in his home in Celebration, Florida. He had a very nice home. And Celebration, Florida is a very nice, exclusive town. It was a town actually built by Disney. Disney owned the property, and they had an obligation to either develop the property or it would go back and become part of the public property. They were afraid somebody would build a theme park there, so they built a housing development there in Celebration, Florida. And he owned his house in Celebration, Florida, where he passed away. And the last time I bumped into Adam the Woo, and I was talking to him, I said, "You are living the American dream. You know, you went out on the road with nothing, penniless, and now look at you." Right? You're successful and at what you set out to do. You're financially successful. It's really the great American story, the American dream story. He was just an amazing person, and certainly missed by me and many others, inspired by him. So, you know, and it's just a loss. Just a loss. All right, so I'll take a call or two before we get started. We'll be on the radio in about 15 minutes. We've just lost so many people this year. Adam the Woo, Charlie Kirk. My goodness. I mean, it's just, it's been a rough year. People I've grown up with, heroes and icons and role models of mine have just been passing away all year long. It's been a big year of loss, you know, of people that I'm fans of or admire or, you know, or whatever have been passing away. Oh, my goodness. I guess that happens as you get older. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. I hope you feel better than you did yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
It's Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I woke up. I set my alarm for you, and I said, "Oh my God, he's not there. I hope nothing happened to Kathy."
I tried so hard to get. I couldn't get out of bed yesterday morning to take a shower. I was that sick.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. You turned me on to Adam the Woo, by the way. When you mentioned him, I looked him up, and then I saw one of his videos where he was living in that van of his, and he said he had a job at Office Depot, and that was the last job he had before. And he went from that to renting an apartment by Disney World in California to owning a home, and he had two homes. He had two sides. You know, he went back and forth. You know, he did a lot of Disney. I bet you met him at Disney World because that's what he did. A lot of Walt Disney
stuff. The last time I met him was
the
last time I ran into him was at Epcot Center at Walt Disney World. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
All right. Now the ships. Okay. I people don't realize this. President Trump is very, very slick. Okay, he's going to be portrayed today by the mainstream media of Trump wants toys. His mind, his ego, and everything. He has to have the best of everything, gold and all. I guarantee you that's what's coming. The reason why this is happening, folks, you got to open your eyes. You got to control the seas if there's going to be a war. They're talking about and he wouldn't admit it because he can't. They're talking about a hot war in China, possibly in the next 3 years if it comes down to it. China controls the whole ocean. China's Navy is so much bigger than ours that we would lose in that war right now.
Our Navy is... While I don't know how many warships we have right now, I'm sure I will by the end of the day because it'll be talked about a lot. Our Navy is very small right now. We have a very small Navy.
China is very big, and you have to have a deterrent. And for people to say we're not building battleships, these things are going to have lasers, they're going to have everything on them. I mean, they're going to be, but you have to have them for China. That's the bottom line. Russia is not a threat anymore, but China, for a Navy. But China is they're taking over the whole, Japan's worried about them.
If there's a war, God forbid, if there's a war with China, because that, that would just be terrible. But
Taiwan is the problem.
Yes, but that would be a big naval war, and we just don't have the ships we used to have. And there is an intimidation factor with battleships. With
China, it's a deterrent and intimidation. You're right, but China is the main. If China right now, if a war broke out, we'd get killed in it. We'd be murdered. I mean, we have left. They have been building ships, and we know this. And no president has done it.
Well, the question is, they do have more ships, but how advanced are they? And China does not have a functional aircraft carrier. They don't have a single Russian. They have one aircraft carrier that's an old decommissioned Russian carrier. They do not have an active duty aircraft carrier. Well, they do have a larger Navy. It's not that advanced. But if we're building a battleship with nuclear weapons and lasers on it, which is what the president talked about, that scares the daylights out of the Chinese.
Absolutely. And there's going to be 20 of them.
You know, the last battleship, which was the name of the last battleship? It was decommissioned around 92. Do you remember the name of it?
I don't remember.
But I remember my dad told me in Vietnam that they would call in airstrikes from that battleship during Vietnam. It was built during the World War II. The last battleship was built during World War II. The last American battleship. And the Navy that we have now, the ships are wimpy looking. They're not intimidating.
It's like our Navy is like the Coast Guard, expanded Coast Guard. Can't do it. Coast Guard should be small ships, but not the Navy.
That's
Navy's
right.
got to be big ships, strong ships. And by the way, I used to watch Victory at Sea, like President Trump.
I love Victory at Sea.
I used to watch Navy Log. There was another one, Navy Log. It was about a submarine. Not for nothing, but we have the greatest ships, or we should have the greatest. We need these deterrents.
Well, the ships we have are very advanced and powerful, even though they're small, but they don't look intimidating. You need to look intimidating. And, I started the program today. I was talking about what Trump's modeling this after Teddy Roosevelt. We had a brand new Navy with battleships, the Great White Fleet that he sent all over the world, and to Japan, which was a big threat back then, even in his time, to show off what we had.
Yeah, but did you notice the photos? I think the photos were influenced by none other than the man who owns Tesla, because they're very sleek and modernized. They look more like that Tesla SUV.
Yeah, I promise you they don't run on electricity.
No, they might run on nuclear stuff, though.
They might, so they don't have to refuel.
Yeah. But poor Adam the Woo, and my brother died at 51 in bed, by the way. Same thing. Woke up.
What did he pass away? Did he have a heart attack, your brother?
Heart attack in bed. I don't know, but you said he died in his sleep, natural causes. My brother died. My brother was flying. He went to bed. He got up, smoked a cigarette, and then he went back to sleep, and he never woke up. He was late.
Well, that's natural causes.
Found him dead in bed.
That's natural causes.
51 years old. That's a hard time for a man to be in his between 45 and 55. They say is the most dangerous time for a man.
That's why when you'll hear me. We have life imaging, FLA with the heart scans and everything, and there were so many times that I would do stuff, and then I start to feel. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have a heart. I'm so glad I got that scan and found out that I have no blockage and no plaque or anything.
Let me say something to you. Really, it's important that you know this. My brother passed away. He had a thyroid condition his whole life. It kept him out of the service.
Yeah.
He had to take medication. That's why. Now, I know your daughter her thyroid was removed.
She has no thyroid. My wife either.
Yeah, but make sure they constantly. Well, your wife goes to the doctor, but make sure your daughter has her heart checked on a regular basis.
Oh, she does. She does. When you have your thyroid removed, it's a life altering thing. But this thing with Adam the Woo though. This thing with Adam the Woo, men in their 50s drop. That's the time, right, with the Widowmaker. Right?
Yeah, 45 to 55.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably, we don't know yet, but my guess is that's what, he was a big guy. He was a giant.
I saw the Leaning Tower. I saw when he saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa. My wife said, "What? Look at that thing." I said, "Look at that." He had a hotel room right across the street from Tower of Pisa, and he spoke. So he was such an easygoing, and he explained everything like you on a tour with the guy, like you were in Disney World with him as he spoke. He walked around like you were with him.
Yeah,
I mean that's how he made his money.
And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how YouTube works from Adam the Woo. Even though he did a different kind of channel, and not just successful. I mean, if you go back to his early videos when he wasn't monetized on YouTube, he had no money, and he was living in that van, and he had a Patreon, and that's how he got gas money, with Patreon supporters giving him money so he could get to the next roadside attraction. It's a true story, and I watched him from those days and saw him. That's why when last time I saw him and I talked to him, I was like, you are living the American dream. Look where you are now from where you were. It's an amazing story.
He had to have died a millionaire. Yeah, I mean,
I would imagine he because he didn't have a wife and he had no children. He was never married, and and when you get married, money does, you know what I mean? It doesn't go as far. So when you have kids and all that, so yeah, I bet you paid cash for his house.
He loved his coffee like you. I tell you that.
Piping hot cup of
coffee.
He
went to in Italy
with my piping hot cup of coffee.
His espresso.
But you know the thing about.
Have yourself a good morning.
All right, take one last thing about him though. Watch his last vlog with the Grinch. It's a good last vlog because he had such a great time and he was laughing and everything else, and he uploaded it on Sunday. But he did something in that vlog that was so weird for him. He showed the yard of his house. At the end of the video, he showed it in the beginning, but not so much. At the end, he took the Grinch back to his house, and I couldn't believe he showed his whole front of his house, which was really out of character.
Was it a big house?
It was like a two-story like townhouse in Celebration, and it was very nice.
Wow.
And Celebration's Celebration's expensive to live in. I got to tell you.
High end, I know it.
But what I'm curious about is German in Venice, another vlogger, knocked on the door. Adam didn't answer. He couldn't get him on the phone, I'm assuming. And he called the police to do a wellness check. And I'm so curious what was going on that, if I went to some guy's house and he didn't answer the door, I would just think he was just sleeping or he left. I wouldn't call the police for a wellness check. So something was going on.
Well, he didn't answer his phone. I think that's why he probably always answers his phone with this guy, and he didn't answer the phone. Maybe he went over there to see, and he still didn't answer the phone. Even if you go out of your house, you're going to answer your phone.
Well, we'll find out today. But I'm happy that they said it was natural causes at least, and I'm glad that he didn't die in Europe. He just got back from Europe, and I'm glad he died here and not in Europe. All right, Richie.
He was in. All right, have a good morning.
All right, take care. Yeah, Adam the Woo. Yeah, hey, listen, I am fans of things other than politics. I do take a break from things, and Adam the Woo was one of those things. All right, I'm just hearing from Mike at the radio station. Okay, hold on, we'll be on the air shortly. Okay. He's just telling me. I'm still sick, so you got to bear with me, guys, and... Yeah. If you want to participate, today's a good day because I won't be able to take you liberals down as easily as I would on a regular day because I'm under the weather. But I'm so much better than yesterday. If there's a day I miss, I'm sick. And I'm going to live stream all week, and I do plan on live streaming Christmas morning too, guys. So... that's my daughter lives in Florida, but she's not here, so she won't be here this early. And my daughter doesn't get up this early, so I will live stream on Christmas morning. There'll be a best of on the radio, but I'll be here Christmas morning. So keep an eye out, guys. Okay. All right. Okay, we've got about 90 seconds. I'm gonna start with the fleet, and then I'm gonna go through some of the sound bites. And then get more of your calls, okay? And if you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. If you're watching on the live stream with the green wall behind me to see all the audio and everything that I'm playing and the video, well, to hear the audio and to see the video, see, told you guys, I'm under the weather. And this is my first coffee, and you can see how little I've had. You got to go to my main live stream here on YouTube. The link is in the description, all right? And if you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. Give me a 1 if you were familiar or watched Adam the Woo. If you were familiar or watched Adam the Woo. I'm just curious in the past. Just a 1 if you knew who he was or if you watched him or were aware of him. I'm just curious. It's a totally different type of thing that I'm doing here. And if you're on hold, hang in there. We got about 15 seconds. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It is Tuesday, 2 days before Christmas, December 23rd. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. All right, we got a lot to cover on today's show, and the president made some big announcements yesterday that are just so important that I'm going to cover. I got a lot of things to cover. I am under the weather today, guys, so bear with me. And Mike, have a best of ready. Because yesterday I was so sick, I had every intention of coming on live yesterday morning. I could not get myself out of bed to take a shower yesterday. I was so sick. And I was sick. I didn't realize it until Sunday. I was sick on Friday, and I had a tough time getting through Friday's show. When the show was, because I was just tired, and I couldn't understand why I was so tired. And then when the show was over Friday, I was exhausted, and now I know I had a cold. And I'm full of Dayquil, and I'll be able to have another dose at the bottom of the hour. It'll be time for another dose. Dayquil works miracles. So I am under the weather. Bear with me. And if my symptoms come back and make it impossible for me to continue, so stand by, Mike, with the best of. I'm not kidding. But I don't plan on that happening. We'll get through the show. Okay, so I want to first talk about the big announcement President Trump made about these new naval vessels, right? 2 new battleships, Trump-class battleships, I guess they're going to be called. And the first one's going to be the USS Defiant. These battleships are so important for so many reasons, okay? And I want to talk about this here in the beginning, and I'll play some of the sound bites from the speech yesterday and the comments. It was the president, Pete Hegseth, and Marco Rubio at Mar-a-Lago. And I was so excited when I heard about these battleships. And I'll tell you why for a number of reasons. One, not only does the United States not have any battleships anymore, the last battleship that we had on active duty was decommissioned in 1992 when H.W. Bush was president, and it was I cannot remember the name of the ship. I guess I could look it up, but it was built during the Second World War. Obviously, it had been refitted many times. But battleships are big and menacing, and we do have big aircraft carriers, but basically what we have is a Navy that has a lot of very small surface vessels, very tiny. And I see them a lot. Like here in South Florida at Port Everglades, you'll see naval ships dock all the time. And I can't believe how tiny they are. And our Navy is also small. We have a very small Navy. Yeah, was it the Missouri was the last battleship? They even made a movie about it, right? Under Siege with Steven Seagal. Great movie. That was about, and Gary Busey was about the Missouri. Was it the Missouri it took place on? Our Navy is small. We have very few ships compared to what we had in the past, and it's not all that intimidating. Basically, what we have now are these aircraft carrier fleet groups. And the aircraft carriers are big and all, but and they have powerful fighter jets and things on them, and they have all these small ships around them. But we don't have any big, powerful, intimidating battleships anymore. And the way that President Trump described these battleships, I'll play it for you in a little bit, but that they're building, they're menacing. And President Trump wants to have a military that's menacing, including a Navy. You know, having a frightening military scares the daylights out of people. You know, there's so much in our military today that is so wimpy, right? You know, the Otto administration, with these soldiers and sailors and airmen wearing homecoming dresses and prom dresses and stuff, that gets people killed because people think the military is weak. If you have a military that's frightening, that stops wars. You know, that's just the way of it. And, you know, President Trump is a student of presidential history. And I've heard him a lot during the campaign and in this first term. He talked a lot about McKinley. Teddy Roosevelt famously sent the U.S. Naval Fleet, the Great White Fleet, around the world when he was president, and it was a battleship fleet group to show people how strong the American military, the naval power of the military was. And it was menacing to people at the time. Obviously, this was prior to the First World War. And that's what President Trump's going to do here. They're going to build these massive battleships and sail them around the world, and they're going to dock, if there's docks big enough to take them, they're going to dock in ports in major cities in countries all over the world to show off and scare the living daylights out of the world. And, you know, I hope this doesn't happen, but people talk like war with China is just inevitable. It will happen one day. They used to say that about Russia when I was growing up during the Cold War, and luckily that never happened. I hope we never have war with China. But I'll tell you this, if we have these battleships, this Trump class of battleship that have nuclear missiles on them and fire lasers and are larger than anything that's ever been built, that is menacing. It'll scare the living daylights out of China. That we mean business. And you dock these nuclear power, they may be nuclear power, you see how big some of these cruise ships are? Oh my goodness. I've seen some of the biggest cruise ships in the world. You know, every couple of years, the next biggest cruise ship in the world is out there. The size of those ships, when you see them in person, it's hard, I don't know how they float. And you see some of these massive oil tankers and freighters that are out there today, the super tankers and things. They're too big to fit in the Panama Canal. And, you know, and so you can only imagine how big these battleships are going to be. They are preventative. Just like a big guy who's a bouncer at a bar, right? He may not be able to fight. He may have a glass jaw, but because he's so big and powerful looking, people don't mess around. Well, these battleships will have nuclear weapons and shoot lasers and can back up. They're not just looking intimidating, but they can back up what their looks portray. This could stop World War III. These battleships could stop a war with China in the Pacific one day or anywhere else. Okay, and that is a very good thing. Now, of course, we're going to hear all the liberals that are going to go around and tell us these are the worst things ever. This is a terrible idea. We don't even need battleships anymore. Why do we need such things? They're out of date. No, they're not out of date, okay? They're not out of date. There are things that we actually need. Now, I want to ask you this. Do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? Go and see them over at Lighthouse Medical. Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. They can help you no matter where you are in the world, okay? If you're local, great. Make an appointment, go in the office. But if you're out of town, out of state, or even in another country, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy, with telehealth and everything. They can do everything on the phone and get rid of that neuropathy. Neuropathy is awful. Okay, and Lighthouse Medical, not only do they have a treatment for neuropathy, they have a treatment that works and a treatment that lasts. They treated Steve Kane 3.5 years ago. He saw immediate relief after the first treatment. They rid him of his neuropathy symptoms. 3.5 years later, it hasn't returned. Give them a call, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. That's Lighthouse Medical. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you they're making it through the year. They want to thank you for your continued support by passing on some Christmas specials to our listeners. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow, the 5-pack, for just $29.98. Get the My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, and duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on the standard MyPillows for just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716
716-4879 and use the promo code KANE to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now just $14.98. Queens, $18.99. Kings, only $1 more. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty, but MyPillow has just announced they're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee. That's right. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2026. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, or call 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE for huge savings on your Christmas shopping. Do you want healthier chickens, stronger immunity, and rich golden yolked eggs without relying on chemicals? Of course you do, but how do you do it, and where do you even begin? That's easy with the new book from author Mary Butler, The Herbal Hen House, Nurturing Your Chickens with Nature's Remedies, available on Amazon. Author Mary Butler is a devoted chicken keeper and herbal enthusiast who brings more than a decade of hands-on experience straight to your coop. The Herbal Hen House is a warm, practical guide that shows you how to use safe, effective herbs to support digestion, boost immunity, and improve egg quality, as well as help prevent common flock problems naturally. When you read The Herbal Hen House, you'll discover easy, beginner-friendly herbal remedies, simple DIY blends that you can make at home, as well as clear guidance on what's safe, what to avoid, and how to care for chickens at every stage of life, from chicks to senior hens. Whether you're raising your very first flock or have been tending chickens for years, The Herbal Hen House gives you the confidence to ditch those harsh chemicals and raise healthier, happier chickens the natural way. The Herbal Hen House, Nurturing Your Chickens with Natural Remedies, from author Mary Butler, is available right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. Order your copy right now. Your chickens will thank you.
All right, we're still in radio break. I got to go take my Dayquil. It's starting to wear off. I'm going to take it a few minutes early. Okay, hold on. We got about 90 seconds till we're back. I can feel it wearing off, you know, and it takes about 20 or 30 minutes to kick in, so. So you guys got to bear with me during the show. Yeah, I just could feel it as I was going to break. It just started wearing off. And I can't let that happen. I got 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. During the break, I took a dose of my Dayquil. I took it a few minutes early, guys. Don't tell anybody. But I could feel, as I went to commercial, I could feel the Dayquil starting to wear off, and it takes. And I've been using Dayquil when I have colds forever, and not NyQuil, Dayquil, because you don't get drowsy, right, with the Dayquil, and I've got it down by clockwork. Between 20 and 25 minutes after I take a dose, it sinks in and starts to hide my symptoms of my cold. So I've got 2 hours and 42 minutes to go. So I gotta pace myself and get through this, because oh boy, there's nothing worse than being on the air when you have all the bad cold symptoms, but they're masked with the Dayquil. All right. So another thing I just want to mention here, and then I'll get to some of the audio sound bites, is did you catch J.D. Vance's speech at the Turning Point USA event over the weekend? It was phenomenal. You know, Turning Point started out as a complete disaster on Friday with Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson just got really weird. Did you guys see Tucker Carlson? He's become a advocate for the biggest victims in our society, which he believes are Muslims. Listen to this just to give you, it just went nuts. This is Tucker at Turning Point on Friday. Yeah, the real victims in America are Muslims, according to Tucker Carlson. He's advocating for the Muslims with a lot of energy there. Very strange, And this Turning Point USA event on Friday was a complete disaster. It started with Ben Shapiro. You got Tucker, Megyn Kelly. It was just, And I did a podcast on Saturday about this, and I went through it. You guys should check out that podcast because I broke down a lot of things. And I was asking the question, should Turning Point USA actually shut down? Are they doing more harm than good? Because if this is the new Turning Point USA, they're going to do us more harm than they are going to do us helpful-wise in this midterm election, because this is just destructive. And then Saturday and Sunday, they redeemed themselves. On Saturday, they brought in that grandma that was harassed by that liberal who worked at Target, and she was wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt, and she was just totally harassed without mercy by this liberal lunatic woman. I can't play it to you because the liberal lunatic used the F word so much that if I bleeped it, you wouldn't hear anything. It would just be like the emergency broadcast system. And they brought her up on stage with Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec. And I was like, oh, great. This is what Turning Point's all about. And then J.D. Vance spoke on Sunday. And man, was that an amazing speech. J.D. Vance obviously is the political apprentice. He got the endorsement for president, not just from Erica Kirk, but from the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio gave his endorsement to J.D. Vance and says, if he runs, I will not. And although I'm not fully happy about that because I don't like this idea that Gen X has gotten skipped over. We've gone from the boomer generation to millennials. Where's Gen X here? But maybe Marco will run as his vice president. Who knows? And maybe he'll be the third MAGA president. But J.D. Vance, his speech on Saturday was amazing. And I don't know if you saw, J.D. Vance went and did this 90-minute training session with the Navy SEALs. And I don't know how he did it. He is a really tough guy. Now, I know he's a Marine, but that was a long time ago. And he went and joined the Navy SEAL training for their daily 90-minute workout. And that is not an easy thing to do. I wouldn't have been able to do it. He completed it. If I would have, not only would I have not completed it, I would have had heat stroke and very well may have been hospitalized. And I'm not kidding, as most men would. So J.D. Vance most definitely is President Trump's political apprentice. No question about it. And I'm fine with that as our second MAGA president. And I might play some of the clips of him today on the program from his speech at Turning Point USA. It was a big unity speech, and his speech was, a lot of it was about this divide that these conservative voices have been creating. He called out by name Nick Fuentes and others on attacking his wife. He talked about this constant purity test that a lot of these conservative voices are requiring that other conservatives in the MAGA movement take every week, and all this stuff. It was a really J.D. Vance's speech at Turning Point USA was his presidential announcement speech. And history may record it that way. It very much seemed like that, didn't it? Absolutely it did. I was blown away by it, honestly. It was so impressive. And it was all about unity inside the MAGA movement. See, you'll hear me talking about this a lot because it's so true. Not only can we win the midterm elections, we can win them by a lot if we are unified and we have a massive voting turnout. If we turn out our voters like it's a presidential election year, not only will we win, we'll gain seats in both houses. And we'll have some victories with governors and state legislative branches too. And that trickles on down to the local level. There are MAGA candidates at every level now. Your school board, town council, county commissions, local mayors, and all of that. You know, and all we need is unity with the MAGA movement and a massive turnout. And that entire speech of J.D. Vance's was a unity speech and also a presidential announcement speech. And I think he's proven himself to be Trump's successor. I've been so impressed by him every time he speaks, and he's got the gift, and this is the gift that you need, as a president and as a successful presidential candidate. Charming, even in the opinions of people that don't like you. And the first time I saw this was when J.D. Vance did that press conference a couple of months back. I talked about it. And he had the press eating out of his hand. It was a couple of days after Pete Hegseth chewed out all the generals and admirals, and they were asking about the beard and everything, the beardos. And he had these Trump-hating, Republican-hating White House press corps members laughing at his jokes, eating out of the palm of his hand. It was amazing. And I told you, he's got a gift right there that so few people have, right? And then I saw him at this CPAC, or not CPAC, this Turning Point USA speech on Sunday, this unifying speech, and they blown away again. And I did not even know that he did this training session with the Navy SEALs until this morning. And he is the man. He is the second MAGA president. That's it. And get used to that. And so far as people who say, well, you know, he was saying all these things about Trump. Now, yeah, so was Marco Rubio. Okay? You know, and then they got to know him. Right? People, they don't know someone, they have one opinion. They get to know someone, and then all of a sudden they see the real person and their opinion changes. And out of everyone we've got a great field of people. But right now, to be the second MAGA president, J.D. Vance has the best skills out there, the best skill set. The way he handles the media. Remember, he did a Turning Point event a few weeks back. I played some clips, and he was taking calls from these idiot liberal kids, filleted them. His speech at Turning Point this weekend, amazing. I love what he said to Nick. I can't play what he said to Nick Fuentes and people who attack his wife. He told them to consume something that I can't say on the radio. I was completely blown away by it. I'll tell you, you know what else I was blown away by? Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. When he's rid me of pain, each and every one of the 7 times he's done it. You know, his laser away pain treatment works. I have met so many listeners who have the same experience I've had. They've gone to see Dr. Appleton with just terrible pains. Sometimes pains that they've suffered from for years, and they're living a pain-free life. Neck, back, hip, arthritis, leg pain, knee pain, all these different types of pains. And they just rave about how they got their life back, how much they love Dr. Appleton, how they send their friends and family to Dr. Appleton. Living in pain is not something you have to do. I thought that part of growing older was living a life of pain. It is not. Aches and pains are not a part of growing older if you go see Dr. Appleton, and you don't have to take a bunch of pills to mask the pain. Like I'm doing with my Dayquil, I still have the cold. It's just masking the symptoms. All those pain medications, they don't fix you. They just mask the symptoms. Dr. Appleton's robotic laser repairs the damage that's causing the pain. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Say bye-bye to your pain, and ho, 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 Christmas season to a pain-free life. Here's his, remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. He's open today and tomorrow, closed for Christmas, but then back to normal. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Okay, guys. All right, I'm going to get to some of the sound bites when we get back. So if you're watching with the green screen, with the green wall behind me, to see and hear the audio and video that I play, you need to go to my main stream, which is linked in the chat, guys, okay? On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
Well, I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie and bingo, and the next day I had a meeting with him. And the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he's done straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Wow, that's amazing. Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
This is Mark Laporta, son of Tom Laporta and proud second-generation owner of Laporta Roofing. As a military veteran who served in the Army after 9/11, I've brought the same dedication and discipline to our family business. At Laporta Roofing, we've been serving our community for nearly 4 decades, and we're committed to continuing that legacy of excellence. Our team specializes in all types of roofing systems, from shingles to tile, slate, metal, and flat roofs. We're the go-to experts for single-family homes, HOA communities, and condo associations. What sets us apart is our unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction. I've personally implemented systems to ensure you receive the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for a free roof inspection. Call us now at 954-604-4602 or visit us at laportaroofing.com. Trust the experts who have been protecting homes like yours for generations. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
All right, we got about 90 seconds till we're back on the air. I got to take it easy, guys, because I got to pace myself. Yeah, see, I'm glad I took the Dayquil when I did, because the new dose hasn't taken effect yet, and the old dose is really wearing off, so I'm feeling it. I did the neti pot today, too. Do you guys ever use a neti pot? You know what a neti pot is? All right, we got just over a minute, and we'll be back. Nothing came out with the neti pot other than water. But I probably should have taken today off too. But it's Christmas week. I will be here all week, and I will live stream on Christmas morning, guys. So keep an eye out for me Christmas morning. I will be here. Less than a minute. Welcome. Yeah, if you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat.
Announced that I
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on this Christmas week. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. Okay, so this is the president's announcement yesterday about the battleships, which just blew me away. I was shocked to hear this.
As Commander-in-Chief, it's my great honor to announce that I have approved a plan for the Navy to begin the construction of 2 brand new, very large, the largest we've ever built, battleships. You know, you used to build the Iowa, the Missouri, the Wisconsin, the Alabama, many others. We had big battleships. These are bigger, but they will have 100 times they'll be 100 times the force, the power, and there's never been anything like these ships. These have been under design consideration for a long time. And it started with me in my first term, because I said, why aren't we doing battleships like we used to? And these are the best in the world. They'll be the fastest, the biggest, and by far 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. So if you look at the Iowa, the Missouri, Wisconsin, Alabama, and others, but they were similar in size, some a little bit bigger than the others, but if you take the biggest one, it's 100 times more powerful. They're longer by a little bit, but and they're bigger ships, but they hold much more. They use the word lethality.
Yeah, and these are battleships that are going to have lasers, actually being able to fire lasers. You know, the left, the Democrats have been, they've just been a terrible force in our society, Democrats, haven't they? I mean, what good has come from the Democrats in your lifetime? And even in our parents' and grandparents' lifetime? Nothing has good comes from the Democrats. But one of the most destructive things they've done, they started during the Vietnam War, but for the last 50 to 60 years, the Democrats have been convincing people to be ashamed of this country, of American excellence, American greatness, and American superiority. And we're number one. Like yesterday, I've got this clip. Let me see if I can find this clip. This was amazing. Okay, so we got another tanker, right? We've been, President Trump's been grabbing these Venezuelan oil tankers, and a reporter asked him, what's he going to do with the oil in the tankers?
Speaking of Venezuela, oil, what are we going to do with the oil that we have?
Going to do with what?
The oil that has been seized. The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping it.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic oil reserve?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also.
Wow, we're keeping the ships and the oil. We're going to keep the ships. When he says we're going to keep the ships, does he mean like the United States government's going to own the ships? You know, this presidential term is one that you need to savor every moment of. Right? We're going to have other MAGA presidents, like we were talking about J.D. Vance before the break. We're never going to have a MAGA president or any president exactly like this guy, Donald Trump. I mean, he just doesn't care this term, does he? He's just doing what's got to get done. He's not worried about political correctness. He's not worried about what the press are going to say. You know, he doesn't care. He knows that the haters are going to hate no matter what. And this is the right thing to do. Why shouldn't we keep that oil and the ships with all the destruction and death that Venezuela has brought to this country? Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't we keep the oil? Why wouldn't we keep the ships? They owe us a lot more than that. And I love how, I don't know if he even thought about it until the guy asked, and then he just said, yeah, we're going to keep it, and the ships too. He might have decided that when the question was asked. Maybe not, but maybe. You know? And all this talk, this fake talking point that the Trump haters have. Well, you know, I supported Trump, but I'm America first. How are you more America first than this guy? Building the great battleships, keeping the Venezuelan oil and the oil tankers. So whatever company they belong to, well, they don't own them anymore. We've seized it. That's what you do. You seize the property of the drug cartels. And you know, one of the great things about President Trump that he's done that we haven't experienced yet is with these future MAGA presidents, J.D. Vance, Marco, whoever it is, the expectations of the American people are different. Before Trump, we didn't really expect people to do anything in government. We wanted to have somebody in there that we thought agreed with us on principles and morality and such, but we never expected them to do anything, really, right? Because they didn't do anything. They'd say everything we wanted to hear at election time, and then they'd get elected, and they'd come up with 15 ways from Sunday why they couldn't do it. And they never really intended on doing anything. And the expectation of the American voter now is to put America first, don't be ashamed of our country, and do the things you say you're going to do. And if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're out. And politicians know that. This is a new era in American politics. I don't think we've ever had a time in this country where the American people expected results from the government, really expected results. And the people in power felt an obligation to do it or they're going to be out. Here's Pete Hegseth. This is the same press conference, the Mar-a-Lago battleship press conference from yesterday.
Well, Mr. President, you're exactly right. There are no fishing poles, no fishermen, and no fishing boats, just drug dealers and narco terrorists. And with every strike, we're saving American lives. No other president was willing to do real deterrence. That's exactly what's happening. It's an honor to be here, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, Secretary Rubio, to talk about what peace through strength really looks like. You can talk about it, or you can invest in it, and you can build it. And that's exactly what President Trump is doing. At the Department of War, we're restoring the warrior ethos. In fact, the President mentioned the NDAA. We put into law merit-based. We put into law getting rid of DEI and political correctness. That's now part of how our military operates. And you've seen it in record recruiting in the spirit of the Department of War. We're rebuilding the military. President Trump did it once. He's doing again with historic investments today in shipbuilding. And we're reestablishing deterrence, whether that's at the border, whether it's through Golden Dome, what happened with Midnight Hammer and what Iran found out, those drug boats, and of course the Houthis opening up the shipping lanes. American strength is back on the world stage. And the announcement of the Golden Fleet, anchored by new battleships, the biggest and most lethal ever, accomplishes all three of those things and marks a generational commitment to American sea power. Across the entire department, we are developing new operational concepts, deploying cutting-edge technologies, and making major investments, including in our Navy. This is happening in all domains, including space, as the President has talked about before anyone else. So it's the highest of domains and the lowest of domains under sea, and especially today in sea power, that always has to be decisive, has been in the history of America, and will continue to be under the leadership of President Trump. We will make sure that anything that flows from our country and with our allies flows freely and uncontested. New and better ships will provide that deterrent today and for generations to come. This new class, these new investments, will be the types of things that for decades, for centuries, the American people will look back and thank President Trump for having the vision and the willingness to invest right now in capabilities we need today, tomorrow, and long into the future. So, Mr. President, thank you for this investment.
All right. Mr. President. Okay, that's Pete Hegseth. Yeah. Look, now you see why, you see why they work so hard to stop him, because he's making the American military great again. Our military was being gutted. We have a very small Navy. We have a bunch of wokesters still in the service. I saw a guy online who's a Marine Corps gunnery sergeant who got passed over for promotion to, what's after gunnery? Is it first sergeant? What's the next rank when you're 4 down, or you are 3 down? 3 up, 3 down. Is that a first sergeant in the Marines? I can't remember. And he's doing these videos about how he's going to try harder next time, and he was very wimpy. We have a military of DEI and effeminate men, okay? And this wasn't some cross-dressing trans gunny. This was just what American men have turned into today. Can't check the oil on the car, can't change a tire when they got a flat, And we're getting our military turned back into a manly military. And that's not a bad thing either. The stronger and more intimidating your military is, the fewer wars you'll have to fight. Now, I want to tell everybody about Friendly Tire in Margate. I've been telling you guys, great to get your kids, mom, dad, new tires for Christmas. Friendly Tire in Margate is open Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas and the Saturday after Christmas. Closed Christmas Day, but open Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas, as well as the Saturday after Christmas. Remember, at Friendly Tire in Margate, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. For common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road today. And remember, Friendly Tire, low-cost new tires, as low as $75 a tire. He doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. He has thousands of good used tires in stock for as low as $35 a tire out the door and on the road. He also does repairs. Give him a call, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, stand by, guys. Stand by. I'll go to the phones when we get back, okay?
Have you ever found yourself asking, why does my spouse do that? And wishing you could finally understand. Instead of arguing, you can. You just need the right help and guidance. And that's what you will find in the book, Why Does My Spouse Do That? From psychotherapist and author Eunice Oderend. This must-read and life-changing book blends over 25 years of marriage experience with professional clinical insight to help couples just like yours uncover what's really happening beneath conflict, silence, and emotional distance. This isn't a book about blame, it's about understanding. Why Does My Spouse Do That? Is filled with guided reflections, as well as real-life examples and clear action steps that couples can use to improve communication, heal emotional wounds, rebuild trust, and navigate real challenges like financial stress, postpartum changes, cultural adjustments, and intimacy struggles, and you'll learn to do it together. Whether you're newly married, feeling stuck after years of tension, or working to reconnect after disappointment, Why Does My Spouse Do That? Offers structure, empathy, and hope. You'll learn to understand the past, navigate the present, and begin your future together again. It's time to reconnect, understand, and bring peace back to your marriage with Why Does My Spouse Do That? Available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and free with Kindle Unlimited, as well as the author's website, euniceoderin.com. Order your copy right now and rediscover connection, understanding, and peace in your relationship. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you they're making it through the year. They want to thank you for your continued support by passing on some Christmas specials to our listeners. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow, the 5-pack, for just $29.98. Get the My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, and duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on the standard MyPillows for just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879 and use the promo code KANE to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now just $14.98. Queens, $18.99. Kings, only $1 more. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty, but MyPillow has just announced they're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee. That's right. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2026. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, or call 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE for huge savings on your Christmas shopping.
All right, we got just a little bit of time, about 90 seconds till we're back. I got to go adjust the AC. Probably fever from my cold. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. 1 minute, we'll be back. Is President Trump getting younger in office? Does he look like he's getting younger? Looks like he's getting younger to me. I'm really pacing myself with this cold. My wife wanted me to take today off. I was like, I can't take today off. It's Christmas week. But if I miss a day, you know I'm really bad. All right, about 30 seconds. We'll be back. Stand by. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, this is Scott from Kansas City.
Hey, Scott. What's up?
Well, I was very interested to hear the president's speech yesterday. what goes on in the seas around China and Japan really been on my mind, and has been for years. You've got a buildup going on over there. China, North Korea. Well, North Korea launched a ship at a nuclear sank, and Japan has built up and continues to build up its navy. Plus, you got the Philippines, the United States, and the United States builds these big battleships, sort of like the Yamato and the Musashi.
Yes.
Big warships are impressive.
Yes, they are.
I mean, and that's what they did in the Gulf War. They sent the Missouri to fool the Iraqis, and that was that, and another action in Lebanon. I think it was in New Jersey. Was set to.
Battleships are intimidating. You know, where are you calling from? I forgot. Kansas City, Missouri. You know, here in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, our Port Everglades, NATO ships dock there all the time, right? NATO fleets come here, and my whole life I've taken tours of these ships. They are so tiny. They're not intimidating. They don't even look like they have guns on them. I know they have rockets and missiles and such, but they're not intimidating. And these battleships that President Trump's talking about that shoot nuclear weapons and laser beams are intimidating, and that's what you want.
Plus, they fire some. I was trying to look it up, and I can't find it. It's some kind of hypersonic missile that when it hits them, it blows up.
And it has those. It's going to have those sound weapons. I don't know. I forgot what those are called. Just by the weapon of sound that's destructive. All these modern things that are space age stuff are going to be on them. Yeah, it's really amazing.
I just hope that anybody else, if you have the biggest naval battle since Jutland happen over there near the Sea of Japan to
well, I don't think people should. I know they say China has a big navy. They don't have a technology. China does not have a single functioning aircraft carrier. China has one aircraft carrier that's an old Soviet Union aircraft carrier that doesn't work. So they got a lot of people over there, but I'm not worried about a big naval. With our Navy, as small as it is now, we would kick China's butt, okay? They're a wimpy. But the left have made the idea that America is number one that's a bad thing, and it's not. It's a great thing, right?
Well, it's been very valuable to keeping the sea lanes open throughout the world. Yeah. I mean, the United States and to some degree Britain, even though it's mostly officers now, is kept sea lanes open. Well,
remember, there are more. This is not a joke. The British Navy has more admirals than they have ships. That is not a joke.
Yeah, I know about that. I picked up on that. I follow somebody on YouTube.
The same guy. He's a historian. He's an Englishman who's a historian. And
you know about him too.
Yeah, how do you think I know about that? I saw his video and I thought this is I can't remember his name either. If anybody remember the name of this guy, he's a British historian, and he does incredible stuff. He's an Englishman, and he's while he doesn't say it, he's MAGA, he went through the breakdown of how they have more admirals than ships in the British Navy today, and all of Europe is that way because they've had the United States to protect them. So they have very wimpy militaries. They have all
their wonderful socialist schools and healthcare systems. Yeah, it's because the United States watches over everything.
Yeah, if somebody knows the name of that English historian, remind me. I'll know it as soon as I see it.
His first name is
Mark Felton. Mark Felton, I think is his name. Is that it?
Yeah, I think you got it right there.
Mark Felton, look it up, and and that's how the Navy is. And the United States, being proud of this country, putting us in the number one position in everything is the proper place for this country in the world. With the United States comes stability. They're having a freak out now because Trump's talking about taking China again. I mean, not China, I mean Greenland. That he's talking about taking Greenland again. And they're having meltdowns over this. You know, and he said Greenland is...
I heard that.
Yeah. Greenland is surrounded by Chinese vessels all day and all night sailing around Greenland. He might just take it.
Yeah.
He might just annex it from Denmark. He might just take it, declare it's ours. He might.
Well, wouldn't that be naked aggression?
Be what?
Sort of like invading Kuwait or something?
Maybe.
Because that's what the people on, it was a podcast called The Majority Report.
The people, oh, please. The Majority Report. You listen to those liberal schmucks? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, with what's her name, Emma.
Yeah,
don't
listen to those liberals. Don't listen to those liberals. Listen, the Greenland, the indigenous people of Greenland are Inuit Indians. They're like Eskimos are Inuit, right? They are being so ripped off by Denmark. Greenland is rich in natural resources. The people, the native people of Greenland get nothing. There's only about 100,000 of them. Denmark steals everything. And President Trump they'll be like the Seminole Indians of Florida. They'll be in profit-sharing mode. They're all going to be rich. And he's going to promise them that, and he's going to make it true. They'll all be rich. Every native Greenlander will be rich if they join the United States.
There's some kind of thing where they can vote their way up.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we only have to get, and even though there's a little over 100,000, a lot of them are children, right? So we need to get fewer people than attend your average Trump rally to vote in favor of joining the United States. That's all we got to do. And I think we can do it.
Yeah, I heard about Denmark that's robbing them, which is not unlike a lot of first world countries do to
Europe.
They're people.
Yeah, and liberals are so anti-colonialist, they should be on our side on this.
Well, after all, they spent the last 4 years of get Joe Biden sending money around the world for all this weird woke
crap,
which was laundered.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
All right, you take care.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I just looked outside during the break. Man, oh man, does it look like it's going to rain or what, guys? It's not. It's looking pretty rough out there. There's no doubt about it. And you never know when you're going to need roof repair or replacement. If you're in the state of Florida, call Tom Laporta. Have him look at your roof. Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need, meaning that if you need just a simple repair, Tom Laporta will do it. He can handle the job of any size, whether it's one single-family home, one office building, one apartment building, or an office complex or HOA with over 450 units. He can handle the job of any size. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. And Tom Laporta isn't just a roofer, he's a contractor. And under Florida law, he's allowed to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the replacement or the repair of your roof. Give him a call on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com. All right, let me check the clock here. Okay, we got time for another call or two. Hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
And if you need just a simple repair?
Good morning. This is Archie up in the Huron National Forest.
All right, Archie, in the forest. What's on your mind?
You sound good, Brian. I hope you make it through, and I hope you recover really quick.
I'm pacing myself.
In the wilderness. Yeah, we were in the wilderness yesterday. You weren't tweeting much, and no video, no YouTube or nothing.
Listen, if there's a day I'm not on the air, either somebody very close to me has died, or I'm as sick as can be.
Yeah, I kind of was leaning toward, something bad happened. I thought, well, maybe the Muslims might have gotten a hold of yours.
Why would the Muslims want to get a hold of me?
They want to get a hold of everybody. Trust me.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Hey, if you don't make it, if if you got to cut it quits, you know what you ought to do? It'd be great. This would be great.
What?
Great idea, I think.
What's that?
Get Richie, you know, how you could conference call, you know, you get Steve up on the phone, and get Richie to go up against that crazy chick from Harlem, Renee, that crazy one.
You think I could turn the show over to Richie and Renee from Harlem and just go to bed with my cold? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my gosh, that would be awesome.
That would not be safe for radio. That would not be safe for radio.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Or even the internet. They would cross more lines than there are lines drawn. No, that would be crazy. That'd be the last show.
That's true, but talk about the entertainment value. Oh my gosh. Hey,
hey, listen, I got to run. It's time for the top. But well, hold on. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, feel better.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, it's 7 o'clock. Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this. Oh my goodness. So we're been on. Let's see here. 98 minutes. So I think I'm doing okay. I mean, I am sick as HE double toothpicks. No doubt about it. Doesn't get much sicker than I am right now. But we'll keep on trekking. Okay, hold on. Oh, I just got a notification on a headline. Give me a break. Yeah, Mike the board op, he just texted me. He said, I don't think my finger would be able to handle all the dumps that I'd have to make if Richie went up against Renee from Harlem. Oh, my goodness. No, that would devolve into extreme profanity right away. All right. Mark Felton's very good. I like Mark Felton. Do you guys watch Mark Felton on YouTube? He's a British historian, and he's the one that did the video on the British Navy has more admirals than ships. He's very good. I watch him a lot. Okay. Okay. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes and we'll be back. We're still in radio break. Do I sound okay? I mean, I've been doing 100 minutes now, 101 minutes. I started the stream, so I got less than 2 hours to go. But I can feel this is why my wife said if I would have dragged myself out of bed and done the show, that I would have been in the middle of it and not been able to continue. And I would have been stuck. I've had that happen before, where I went on the air and forced myself on the air when I was really sick. And then I get about an hour and a half into the show, and I'm stuck. I can't leave. Yeah, if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free. It is in the live chat. Okay, we got 1 minute. Oh, man. All right, less than 30 seconds. I can tell when I'm sick because the coffee doesn't wake me up. All right, stand by. All right, we are back. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. It's Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Welcome. If you're on hold, stand by. We got a lot to cover. I just scratched the surface. I am still very under the weather, and I can tell the longer the show goes on, the more I'm feeling my condition. So bear with me, and Mike the board op. I'll stand by with the best of. You never know. You never know. We've got an hour and 55 minutes to go. I think I can get through it, but you never know. I might get to a point where I have to throw it over to the best of, but we'll see. We'll see. I just want to. This month has been a deadly month for people that I'm fans of. There was I've talked about some of these in the last. You hear me when I talk about Life Imaging FLA. I'll talk about them later. That December, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day are the deadliest days of the year for heart attacks, and this month has been the deadliest month for people that I am fans of, heroes and icons of mine. Footy from Y100. Anthony Geary from General Hospital. I was really Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers, last week. That one hit me really hard last week. Gil Gerard. I am such a huge Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard fan. And then I have been up since about 10:30 or 11 o'clock last night because I was just falling asleep for the night. And then my wife told me that someone I'm a huge fan of and have been for many years died. A very well-known YouTuber, Adam the Woo. And when my wife told me Adam the Woo died, I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't go back to sleep either. And I laid in bed with my eyes closed until it was till 2 a.m. And I got up at 2 a.m. finally and got in the shower. But I've lost 4 people this month that I'm huge fans and admirers of. And this one, Adam the Woo, hit me really hard. And we don't have a lot of details of it. For those that don't know, he's a YouTube vlogger, and he does travel vlogs. And a lot of what I do on YouTube, the business side of things on YouTube, I've learned from Adam the Woo. And I've been a big fan of his for many, many years. And one of his best friends posted on Instagram that he had passed away of natural causes. He was found in his bed yesterday afternoon, passed away. And that is just really, he was a couple years younger than me, 51. And just a great guy who has so many fans. I was surprised that his death was in TMZ, and People magazine even has a story on it. And I think I saw a story in Newsweek this morning too. It's made international news and national publications. He's that well known, and I was lucky enough to meet him 3 or 4 times, talk to him a couple times, and just a great guy. And as you get older, the people that that you're friends or family of or fans of, they start dropping like flies. The older you get, it happens. But 51 is too young to go. And the story on how he was found, he was going to do another YouTuber who goes by the handle German in Venice. Went to his house here in Florida, Celebration, Florida, knocked at the door, didn't get an answer. And for some reason, he was so alarmed by this that he called police to do a wellness check. So there must have been something going on that this guy thought that they needed a wellness. Police came around 12 yesterday. They knocked on the door, no answer, and left. And then one of Adam the Woo's friends borrowed a ladder from someone because he had a 2-story house and climbed the ladder up to the top story of the house and looked in his bedroom window and saw him lying in bed non-responsive and called the police and found out that he had died. There's one thing that's about, a lot of you I know don't know who Adam the Woo is. I do, and I really admired him for what he did. I'm not going to go through it all now, but it's a big loss, and he's one of the few people out there. There's very few men that go through their life into their 50s and are famous and successful that people can't say something bad about. This guy was just an all-around great guy, even to his hater. There's people who have entire programs dedicated to hating on this guy, and he showed nothing but support and love for the biggest haters out there, Adam the Woo. And it's just another loss like Gil Gerard last week that hit me. And this one's a little worse because he's only 51. And when my wife told me, it's about between 10:30 and 11, because I was kind of like in and out, half asleep when she told, I just couldn't go to sleep after that. I was just thinking about him all night. But I do know he was a good Christian guy, and he's with Jesus now. But he definitely will be missed. All right, anyway, let's go to the phone. I got a lot to cover, but let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Texas. What's on your mind?
Hey, man. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Nah, I'm fading fast, though. But I'll get through the show.
Well, when you finish the show, go home, get back in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to tell you this. The name I got a name for the battleship that Trump wants to build. I got a name for it. USS Sleepy Donald. USS Sleepy Donald.
What was that? USS. By the way, what does USS stand for? Do you know?
I don't know. You tell me. Don't try to make me, because I made a joke about Donald Trump.
You don't know what USS stands for? Oh my goodness. Okay, and what was the other part? USS what, Donald?
Sleepy Donald.
I don't get it.
You get it. Come on, you're not that stupid.
What do you mean by that?
He's always sleeping in his meetings. You know what I'm talking about. He's always sleeping in his meetings.
There's hold on a second. I'll pull this up right now. There's a video of President Trump actually asleep during like a major meeting. Any meeting?
Right.
What meeting? What meeting is that? What meeting is he asleep in?
All his cabinet meetings.
There's a cabinet meeting. Wait a minute. There's a cabinet meeting where he's sound asleep. Is he snoring?
Brian, he was sleeping, Brian. Whether you snoring or not, he was sleeping in a meeting, Brian.
What meeting? Which cabinet meeting was he asleep in?
It's all of them, bro.
All of them. All of them. Wasn't just one. He's been sleeping in all of them.
See, there you go. You trying to make me, and you know I'm right, because you know it's out there. But that's fine.
So
bro.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Okay. Well, first off, nothing you said's true. But so if he was, let me ask you a question here. Okay. If he was sleeping in a cabinet meeting and was unable to stay awake, why would they continue to have these live televised cabinet meetings with him sleeping? That's question one.
Because people like you don't believe nothing, because you think
don't believe nothing. You think it's this is what I don't. This is what I don't get.
You think Trump is God? You think Trump is God? That's what you think.
In the cabinet meetings, they all turn into press conferences, and I watch them all. And he takes questions from the press, and they answer them. Okay. So when he's taking,
when he wakes up.
Oh, so he's awake then. So
when he wakes up, because somebody probably nudge him, man, get up, they're looking at you.
So why? So he's asleep until they ask questions that he answers. If he was sleeping until they were asking questions, why aren't these liberals that hate him asking him about him sleeping? Why don't they ask him about sleeping?
Because
wouldn't these Trump haters in the media call him out on sleeping live on television?
They do.
No,
Brian.
they don't. I've never seen anyone ask him a question about sleeping.
And one other thing too. With this 60 Minutes story on Sunday, why did the White House want that poll?
Well, I don't know about the White House, but I know the head of CBS pulled the story.
Because she's a lackey for Trump. They wanted it pulled. My thing about that story is, my thing about that whole story, why did they pull it? They should have let it air. Because, see, I always say, let it all air. That way you know it all.
Well, what do you know? You don't even know what USS stands for. Try to guess.
I know.
What?
Okay. I not gonna guess. I'm not gonna guess.
Well, then tell me.
I'm not gonna go guess.
Tell me.
I'm not gonna guess. I'm not gonna guess.
You don't know.
Because I don't know what it stands for.
Well, think about it. Think about it. Our ships are called the USS Defiant. Is going to be the first battleship. So, what does it make? What would the U stand for?
What you mean? U.S. Navy.
If all our ships are called USS something, figure it out. USS. What would that stand for?
You tell me what it. I can admit I don't know, but you tell me.
How can you live in America and not know what USS stands for? How can you have lived and grown up in America?
I can admit I'm not as smart as you. I'm not as smart as you.
No, it's not about being smart. It's about being informed.
I don't understand that. I can recite. Okay, bro.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? He hung up. See what they've done in our school system? They don't teach basic anything. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, Jupiter Joe Thomas offers free consultations, which you can take advantage of in his office in Jupiter or anywhere where you're located over the phone and through Zoom. And these free consultations, I want you to understand the value of these, okay? First of all, Joe Thomas has over 30 years of experience as a retirement and financial advisor and planner, okay? Over 30 years. But on top of that, he's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by fewer than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. So he's a top man in the industry. So you're not just getting a free consultation, you're getting a free consultation from a guy that's tops in his business worldwide. Give him a call. He'll put together a custom proposal for you and talk to him about annuities, which protects your money, and you're guaranteed an income stream for the rest of your life. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. Oh, I am fading today. I thought I would be doing a little bit better than I am.
This is George Colony. I'm in the real estate business in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with Kai's Real Estate. I've been in business for 6 decades. People often ask me, what's the right time to buy or sell real estate? To tell you the truth, it's always the right time. You just need to have the right advice from the right advisor. You could call me anytime because I answer my phone on the first ring. My number is 954-801-7320. That's my personal cell phone number. And I answer it on the first ring every time. Please give me a call. I'm happy to answer any question that you have. My cell phone number is 954-801-7320.
We're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, Scott is absolutely the best. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. If you need a new roof, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed.
Do what Hank did. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com.
All right, we're just over a minute away. We're still in a radio station break. Oh, man. You know, this thing about Trump being tired, he's working 20 hours a day, all right? He's working too much and not sleeping enough. But he's not falling asleep. Believe me, if he was asleep during cabinet meetings, that's all you'd be hearing about in the media. And certainly they would ask questions about, hey, you were sleeping a minute ago. Why couldn't you stay awake? But, you know, liberals, they have these things. They want to believe what they want to believe, and nothing is going to convince them otherwise. All right, here we go. About 30 seconds. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian. If you're on hold, stand by. So here's a clip. This is the president in the Mar-a-Lago press conference yesterday.
You just referenced the lower amount of illegal drugs that are coming by sea, and you just said that you're going to start that same program on land soon. Are you just referring to Venezuela, or are you referring to other countries in Latin America?
Anywhere drugs are pouring in, anywhere, not just Venezuela. No.
Yeah, and he went on to talk about how he's looking at Colombia, where they have the cocaine factories. Now this one here, this was one of the most this now, of course, the battleship announcement on its own is huge, but this, we seized another tanker. Have we seized 4 tankers now? How many oil tankers have we seized now?
Speaking of Venezuela, oil. What are we going to do with the oil that we have?
Going to do with what?
The oil that has been seized. The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping it.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic oil reserve?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also.
Oh, we're keeping the oil and the ships. All these people who say that, don't let these people tell you, I supported Trump, but now, I'm America first, right? And he's not. How do you get more America first than this? He sees the oil, he's keeping it, and he's keeping the ships. I wonder what he's going to do with the ships. He might sell them for profit. This press conference yesterday at Mar-a-Lago was a beautiful one. The news never stops with President Trump.
Just so you know, a number came out the other day. We have more jobs right now in the United States. More people are working right now in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. Think of that. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And by the way, Americans, right? These are Americans, because every illegal deported is a job created. Here's another clip. This is all from the Mar-a-Lago press conference yesterday.
Do whatever he wants. I mean, we have a massive armada formed, the biggest we've ever had, and by far the biggest we've ever had in South America. He could do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
That's right.
But they sent their prisoners into us. They sent people from jails, prisons. They sent people from mental institutions and insane asylums into the United States, just walked right in, because Biden had an open border policy. What the Biden administration did to our country can never be forgotten. They took in millions and millions, 25 million people over the course of 4 years. Many of those people were murderers and drug dealers, prisoners, rough prisoners, 11,888 murderers. More than half of them killed more than one person. They came into our country. Now, I spoke to Christine Noem today. I spoke to Tom Homan today. He came down to see me. And we had a great meeting. They've done an amazing job. We're getting them out. We're getting them out very fast. But this should have never happened. But Venezuela was Venezuela took advantage of the open borders that Biden created more than any other country. Tren de Aragua, we had gangs all over. Look, I mean, you have a very weak governor in Colorado. Look what happened in Colorado, where they would occupy apartment houses. And he didn't want to do anything about it because he was scared.
Yeah, but he keeps Tina Peters in jail, doesn't he? Exactly. This was really, when you get to, we're 2 days away from Christmas. So this press conference is 3 days before Christmas. I never remember in my life anything other than the news shutting down the entire month of December. And the way it used to work is all the big names in media would take the entire month of December off, right? Rush, all of them. They would take. That's when they would take their vacations, because the news would. We've had nonstop, multiple news cycles every day during Christmas week, and the president made so many headlines, and he's back making a big move for Greenland.
Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase. He said, I'm governor of Louisiana. And he said, I didn't call him, he called me. He's very proactive. He's a great guy. He's a deal guy. He's a deal maker type guy. And we need it for national protection. We need.
By the way, what he's done is he's taken the governor and made him the special envoy to Greenland to start the move to annex them into the United States.
We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. They have no military protection. If they say that Denmark was there 300 years ago or something with a boat, well, we were there with boats too, I'm sure. So we'll have to work it all out. But he felt very strongly we need it for we need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge. So we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I had thought that the Greenland thing kind of faded away. But no, President Trump is back, and he is making a big move to take Greenland. So don't let anyone tell you anything other than President Trump is America first. I mean, just in this press conference yesterday at Mar-a-Lago, he went the battleship press conference. He went through so many things that show how America first he is. Now, here we are a couple days away from Christmas, and I've been telling you, Life Imaging FLA, they're all about proactive health. And December is the deadliest month of the year so far as heart attacks are concerned, and that's according to the American Heart Association, with Christmas Day and New Year's Day being the deadliest. And I was talking about, I mean, it seems like everybody that I'm a fan of is just dropping dead, this month. But Adam the Woo, big fan of Adam the Woo, dead at 51, found unresponsive in his bed. We don't have a cause of death yet, but I would not be surprised if it was a heart attack. A guy that age, natural causes, it was reported by his best friend, probably a heart attack. And these are very, very preventable thanks to Life Imaging FLA. Life Imaging FLA, give them a call for your free heart scan with just a few minimum requirements, valued at $699. It could save your life or the life of a loved one that you take in there. And when I had that scan, and make sure you ask about the cancer scan too, because I had the cancer screening as well as the heart scan. And I got great news. No blockage, no plaque buildup, and also no cancer. That's been life-changing for me. I find myself all the time doing things around the house, and in the past, before Life Imaging FLA gave me my life back, I would do something, I'd get a little tired, a little heat get to me, I'm like, oh, I got to stop. I was worried. I assumed in my 50s I was going to have a heart attack. Now I know. No plaque, no blockage. So when these things happen, I know I'm not going to have a heart attack. And I know I don't have cancer as well. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. They have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. Pound 250, say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian. I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires. And when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you they're making it through the year. They want to thank you for your continued support by passing on some Christmas specials to our listeners. Get the Children's Bible Story Pillow, the 5-pack, for just $29.98. Get the My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98. Blankets, comforters, and duvets for as low as $25. And a blowout sale on the standard MyPillows for just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879 and use the promo code CANE to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now just $14.98. Queens, $18.99. Kings, only $1 more. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty, but MyPillow has just announced they're extending their 60-day money-back guarantee. That's right. Orders placed between now and December 25th will have their 60-day money-back guarantee extended through March 1st, 2026. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code CANE at checkout, KANE, or call 1-800-716-4879. Promo code CANE for huge savings on your Christmas shopping.
All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. We're still in radio break. Okay, 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It's 2 days before Christmas. Very excited, guys. We'll be here tomorrow. And if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I was just reading this article this morning in Hot Air, Property Tax Revolt. Let me say it again. Property tax revolt exploding across the United States, that all over the United States, DeSantis started this, doing away with property taxes. And let me tell you, this property tax thing is huge. So here in Florida, this is a big problem. You know, people retire, and, you know, the American dream, it's different it's changed over the years, but the American dream that so many people have is to be able to live in a mortgage-free home. That's why when you hear Tunnels for Towers, they give mortgage-free homes to first responders and veterans and their families, right? And having a mortgage-free home becomes a really shocking thing to a lot of people, because they find out they got their mortgage paid off, they got a mortgage-free home, and it's really not saving them much. They're not paying much less than they were paying when they had a mortgage, meaning they still have property taxes and homeowners insurance. And what a lot of people find out is, you know, most people when it comes, not everybody, but most people when it comes to a home that's mortgaged, their property taxes and homeowners insurance are built into the mortgage, right? So they're paying for three things they don't really see. And they find that when they pay off the house, the most of that money was going to property taxes and homeowners insurance. That the mortgage is $500, $600, $700 a month, and the rest of it was all going to that. So the mortgage is paid. They have a mortgage-free home, but those property taxes and the homeowners insurance are killing them. And property taxes, of course, vary when you buy the home, the value of the home, and all kinds of things. But they're thousands of dollars a year, you know, and it's a big burden on people that are everyone, but especially people who are retired. And when DeSantis first started talking about ridding us of property taxes, I got very excited because I know what mine are, and they're a lot of money. And I would very much not like to have to pay them anymore. And my mother, who's retired and lives in a mortgage-free home, she's got to pay her property taxes every year. And I know what her taxes are. And it's not a little bit of money. It's a lot of money, especially when you're retired. And I learned something about ridding us of property taxes from Governor DeSantis. And it's nearly impossible to do in the state of Florida. And if we have a big turnout in the midterms, we'll get it through, but it's going to be a tough fight. The property tax that they're not talking about getting rid of all property taxes, only on your homestead, right? So, if it passed and we didn't have property taxes, I wouldn't have property on my home. But if I owned a second home that was, or I owned an office building or something, or an Airbnb, there'd be taxes on that. It's just on the homesteaded property. But to get it done, taxes are not done by the state. Property taxes are done by your local county government. So DeSantis said that the state cannot pass a law. It has to be on the ballot in a constitutional amendment for the state of Florida. We need 60% of people to vote in favor of it to end it. 60%, a super majority. That is so, almost impossible. And I've seen this over the years with the sales tax. Every few years, they have these votes to raise the sales tax by a penny or a half a cent. And they always run this thing, a penny for the children, a half penny for the children. You know, they say it's going to go to schools and all this nonsense, you know. And I see stupid, idiotic liberals vote in favor of raising the sales tax every time. I've never seen the sales tax increase on the ballot here in Florida where it did not pass. And I can't believe it. Liberals are stupid. And they will, so when it comes up on the ballot this year, they're not, you not only have to, if you're a property owner, you would think it's a no-brainer, no property tax. But Democrats that are property owners will vote against it, who think that there's some kind of social justice warrior by paying for, the property tax on their home. And where does that money go? You know how many dog parks we have in my neighborhood? There's a big dog park in my neighborhood. There's 4 dog parks in the same dog park. They have one park for big dogs, one park. It's all in the same park, right? They have one section for big dogs, like Great Danes, Dobermans, one for medium-sized dogs, one for small dogs, and another dog park for teacups. Why the heck do we need 4? I don't know why we need one, but why do we need 4 dog parks? How many public libraries are there? I mean, come on. What are they doing with the money? All right? And it's not on all property. It's just on the homesteaded property. But, they'll say, well, how are we going to pay? How are we going to support the state if we don't have it? So Democrats that are property owners will vote against it because that's just how they are. They always vote to increase taxes every time the sales tax is up. So even though it's thousands of dollars a year, not a penny on every $100 they spend, they'll still vote to keep it. Plus, you have all the people that are renters that hate the landlords that want to stick it to the landlord. So getting 60% of voters to vote in Florida to rid us of property tax is nearly impossible. So I'm not getting too excited about it because of that. I guess I'm kind of preparing myself for it. But I'm going to be fighting hard for it next year to do away with the property tax. That would be thousands of dollars a year in my pocket and in the pocket of every homeowner. And I know for people that are retired like my mother, you know, that's life-changing money. And you look in Florida, right? Seniors are getting a $6,000 tax deduction off of their Social Security this tax year, right? And every year after that. That's per. So if a couple, that's $12,000. Plus, they don't have to pay property taxes. So, I mean, how many more thousands is that? But liberals are stupid. Plus, Democrats, no matter how good something is, for them personally, if Republicans and Trump are for it, they're against it just as a matter of fact. You know, so I don't know how we could get 60% of Floridians to vote in favor of ridding us of property tax. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me, but like I said, I've seen every time there's been an increase in the sales tax on the ballot, I've seen it pass each and every time easily, and it blows my mind. Who would vote in favor of paying more money in taxes? Democrats. They're stupid. And not only are they stupid, they think they're morally superior to all of us all the time. Now, J.D. Vance was just absolutely amazing over the weekend at Turning Point. And he called out by name people that have been attacking his wife. And he did Nick Fuentes, Jen Psaki, Joy Reid, and everything else. And Joy Reid actually responded to our second MAGA president, J.D. Vance. And she is a really sick, twisted woman. Listen to this, Joy Reid.
Dear young lady, I don't need a hug from you. First of all, I would never let you get close enough to hug me because I don't trust you.
She doesn't trust J.D. Vance to give her a hug. She's afraid of J.D. Vance.
Second of all, I don't know if anybody ever told you you're pretty young, but don't be offering to touch black women's hair. We don't allow it. This is not the 19-teens. It's not.
And she's talking also about Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance.
Not the 1920s or the 1930s. You cannot come up to me, touch me, or touch my hair. It won't go. I don't allow it. So don't offer to do that because that's not going to happen.
Okay. So, Erica Kirk over the weekend, I have never seen an American widow treated like Erica Kirk. They comment on her looks and everything. Erica Kirk cannot help that she looks good. Okay? Erica Kirk went through something that hopefully no one can ever relate to. What she went through was terrible. And the world saw it, right? And Erica Kirk, she was at the Turning Point event this weekend, and she did very good. Turning Point has almost 1,000 people on their payroll. It's 800 and something, the last count I heard. And those are people, many of them have families. How many people living is made working for Turning Point? And she's trying to keep the lights on for almost 1,000 families, which is thousands and thousands of people live because somebody in their family works for Turning Point USA. And even though she's going through this grieving period, she's trying to keep Turning Point USA going so these people don't lose their jobs. And these people on the left are still going after her over and over again, saying that, they're telling her how she should grieve. She's probably still in shock. And you really got to give Erica Kirk a lot of credit for working to keep not only her husband's legacy going, but keep Turning Point USA open for these nearly 1,000 families who earn a living working for Turning Point USA, on top of all the great work they do for the MAGA movement, and we need them in the midterm elections. And I see these people like Joy Reid continually talk as if there's something going on between her and J.D. Vance. These are disgusting people. These are sick and disgusting people. I've never heard people with smile in their voice making fun of widows like this. This is something completely new. Now, I want to tell you, it's been almost a year. It was January when I first went over to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost over 35 pounds, lost about a pound a day. It's absolutely amazing how it's changed my life. And one of the things I've noticed about my great weight loss from Coastal Weight Loss Secret is how much more energy I have, right? You just have more energy. And how great I look. You know, I look at those pictures of me before I lost all this weight, and I'm embarrassed by them. My face was round. Now I got my square jaw, got my neck back. I'm looking great and natural. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call. They can help you no matter where you're located in the United States and lose the weight just like I did. 561-247-6300. Make sure you tell them I sent you so you can set up that no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Brian Craig here. You hear me talk with attorney Barry Siegel every day about how we can help you and your family. Now here's one of our listeners, Frances, sharing her experience of how attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank account savings and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up in probate, and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything. And I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney, Barry Siegel. Finding him helped me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
All right, we got less than a minute. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. All right, we're back, and it's time to check in with our real estate agent, George Colony. George Colony, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm doing all right, all right. I have a cold, but other than that, I'm doing okay, George. Now, George, I wanted to talk to you about how when someone comes to you with their property, whether it's a home or another property that may not be their home, and they list it with you, what's the process, and how do you handle a listing all the way through the process till the property's sold that's different than other real estate agents?
Well, I don't think we got enough time for all of that, Brian, but the first thing that we do, obviously, is we get tremendous pictures. We use 3D pictures so people can walk through the home as if they were in it online. Yeah, we use the normal MLSs and Zillows and Realtor.coms, but we go another step, and that is we try to identify where is the buyer coming from and who is the buyer going to be. And that matters because in many cases, like we run into homes that are really beautiful on the water, and they might be used for a different purpose rather than just selling it as a home. For instance, there's a lot of Airbnbs popping up. So we then take that property and we put it on these commercial sites all over the world because we're looking for someone that may be interested in buying the home for a different purpose other than what normally would be done. And we're trying to get as many eyeballs on the home as we can. So it's a matter of spending a little bit more money and making sure that house is shown in the best light that it can be.
That's interesting. So what you're saying is you don't just get a listing and throw it up there and hope for the best. You market, you find where the client is, where the buyer for that home is, and you market the home another place. As an example, maybe you have a nice home by the beach, and some snowbirds might want to buy it and be down here during the winter. Is what you mean?
Well, yeah, that's one of them. But I would say in the last week, the calls that I've received are from Tampa, from Jupiter, from Deerfield Beach to move to Fort Lauderdale. I mean, we would normally think New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, and those do come. We're getting a lot of calls from there. But the main thing is that response time. I answer my phone, as you probably know by now. I try to do it on the first ring. Even if I'm on the phone, I try to put the other one on hold and answer it. I think when people make a decision to call me, I want to be there, and I want to show them I'm going to be there all the way through. We've talked about a number of things that happen when you list your home, but generally speaking, it's the biggest asset that you have. And many times somebody might knock on your door and they want your listing, or you might get a call from somebody off Zillow because they showed it on this website, and Zillow is taking a big fee for doing that, but it doesn't make the person that's going to list your home qualified to take it out to as many people and as many places as you can get it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting, and it's amazing, and it shows that when you call George Colony, I'm going to give his number out in a minute, guys, so get something to write with, and the number I give you is George Colony's cell phone, so you can call or text, and he does answer on the first ring. I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and and you respond to text messages really quick too, George Colony, because I mostly text, because but you could call or text. You're taking things to a whole new level when someone lists their home to you, and you're right, and I never really thought about it this way. Your property, and you know real estate so well here in Florida. You know who is the ideal buyer for that home, somebody who wants to buy that home, and then you market that home to that group of people directly. That's amazing. Give George Colony a call. Again, this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-801-7320, 954-801-7320. Well, all right, George Colony, we'll talk tomorrow on Christmas Eve.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Absolutely. All right, take care, George. Have a great day. All right, he's a good guy. That's pretty good. All right, let's go to the phones. And I've lost track of what order everyone's called in on, but bear with me. I'm starting to fade a little bit from the cold. The Dayquil's starting to wear off. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Okay, you just mentioned about a couple of seconds ago about.
Hold on, Doug. Tax. I gotta answer all these phones that are coming in. Yeah. Go ahead about the real estate tax. Yes, property tax.
Yeah, about it's very important to do what DeSantis wants. He wants everybody to contact us in Florida to contact their representatives, because you see what these lowlifes have done. They put in 13 provisions in there that will never get passed. One, you have to be in the house for 20 years. Yeah. Another one that you still have to pay school tax, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's going to pass that. No. So unless we all contact the representatives, so we want a clean bill, we're going to be stuck with paying real estate tax.
The chances of the property tax being done away with is almost zero with the way. First off, you got to get 60% of the vote. How are we going to do that?
Well, if it was just a clean bill, I think most people would probably go along.
It's got to be on the ballot. It's a ballot initiative because it's done at the county level, and these counties are freaking out because that's all their money they're stealing. Yeah. Like Tim Waltz in Minnesota.
That one woman in Florida is giving $100,000 to a charity, and she's on the board of the charity getting $100,000. So she's just a thief.
I mean, do you know how many? We have all these public libraries in Florida, and in Boca. Yeah. There's 2 libraries in Boca that are maybe 2 miles apart, and Attorney Barry Siegel does his workshops at the Spanish River Library in Boca. It's a damn palace. Right. I can't believe it. People don't even. People don't even use paper books anymore. I mean, they're and how many dog parks are by your house?
2 of them.
2.
Actually, 2.
I mean, what's with all these dog parks? Yeah. Walk the dog down your street. They don't need the money, but I'm not a defeatist person. I'm like Trump, the power of positive thinking. But when I learned we had to get 60%, at 51%, it was tough. 60%. You know how many times have you seen the sales tax increase pass? Every time it's on the ballot, it passes. These stupid Democrat voters.
Man, yeah. People, you would say this to yourself, well, why would a Democrat want to increase the tax or have a real estate tax?
Because they're
stupid. Don't care. I heard that one moron talking about the real estate tax. So I pay $300,000 a year in tax for my house, and I still want to pay that because the state needs the money. The county needs the money.
Well, they can keep paying it. They don't have, listen, it's only on your homesteaded property, so you don't have to claim the homestead exemption, and you can continue to pay it. Okay, but my mother was telling me the other day, I got to pay the tax. She was telling me how much it is. Like, oh my gosh, Mom. You know what I mean? She's retired. Yeah, she's a widow, and she's, and you know what yours is. I know what mine is. All right, appreciate the call, Doug. Take care. But Democrats, that's how they are. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
I wanted to, this Adam the Wu gentleman, God rest his soul. I remember watching this guy, 7-8 years ago. I was like on this. I was just watching everything about all the van life, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I watched so many of them, but I remember him, and it's kind of sad that he passed away. But this morning I did see there's another YouTuber out there. I don't think he's very well known, but I like the YouTube. The name is Whiskey Dirt Road. Have you ever heard of that guy?
No.
Not very. Well, there's a song. He had like a.
Yes,
a song.
I saw that. I saw that.
Did you see the song?
Yes, I saw that this morning. Yes.
I don't know if he wrote it or if that was AI because it was pretty quick. But I thought that was a.
Let me tell you. I mean, Steve doesn't know who Adam the Woo is. I know a lot of you don't know who Adam the Woo is, and I got to meet him 3 or 4 times. I talked to him a couple times, and you hear me talk a lot with Jupiter Joe Thomas. That when you want to be successful at something, find somebody that's out there that's successful at it and do what they do. And I've learned that in this business from Steve Kane. And all my my YouTube success, I learned a lot from Adam the Woo on how to do the business end of YouTube and how to be successful online. And And but all these, I've lost in this month alone 4 people that I'm like fans of have just been dropping off like flies.
Yeah, no, it's. I know you mentioned Anthony. I can't think of his last
Anthony
name.
Geary from General Hospital, Gil
from
Gerard,
General
Buck
Hospital.
Rogers.
Well, yeah. Well, when you mentioned Luke
Footy.
and Laura, and you were talking about music a little bit, it's
Christopher Cross.
Herb Albert, Herb Albert and the Tijuana
All
Brass.
right, I'm out of time. I got to run for the top, but I appreciate the call.
Okay.
All right, out of time. All right, it's the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be right back.
Here you go.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? We got 2 minutes.
Okay. I hope you're filled with fun stuff.
I'm as sick as a dog.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we can salvage here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sick, so, All right, we got less than 2 minutes. I'll put you on hold. I'll be right back to you in a minute. Hold on.
See if we can stir up a couple of hate calls.
All right, hold on. I'm taking it easy today. I'm not up for the stress. No, the Adam the Woo, I'm just in shock about Adam the Woo dying. I really am. Really upset about it. All right, Steve, you there?
I'm here.
All right, I got 1 minute, so I'm going to keep you on here for this minute.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I got a couple things when we get back, and then we got Barry in the next break.
Okay, I guess that's good.
Okay, hold on.
Do I have a call over here?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
All right, hold on. 30 seconds. Oh, man. My medication's wearing off, so.
We'll get through it.
All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane's here. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm as sick as a dog, but that's okay.
I know. You don't sound that bad. You sound pretty good.
Well, I'm faking it. That's okay.
Yeah, you're faking it.
You wouldn't know I was sick if I didn't. Exactly. But my cold medication, I'm loaded up on Dayquil. And Dayquil lasts about 90 minutes, but you can only take it every 4 hours.
It makes you phase in and out. I know that.
It's wearing off.
Feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's wearing off.
Well, I've been up here having a lot of fun with my new hobby. I now spend all my days watching the gold results, the precious metals, as they go up faster than I can keep track of.
Oh, my goodness. I know.
I've never seen anything. Have you noticed what's going on?
Yeah. Well,
I'm talking about, I never saw anything like this.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
All the metals.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just just won't stop.
I know. I can't wait to talk. Well, we'll talk to William Youngman a little later. I'm glad you're here today because I was mentioning if 4 people that I'm huge fans of have died this month. Right?
Anybody I know?
Well, yeah, I went through some of them. But some of them you don't know. Of course, I told you the other day about Footy from Y100, Anthony Geary from General Hospital, Gil Gerard, who was Buck Rogers, and then the latest one you don't know, Adam the Woo, who I've met several times and big fan of him. And there's not too many people I'm a fan of that are still breathing. You and William Shatner. That's about it. You know what I mean? It seems like
Joyce Kaufman. Don't leave out Joyce.
Well, I'm not a fan of Joyce. I don't wish anything on her. I'm not a fan of hers.
Well, no, but I mean, she's alive and kicking.
I didn't say that I know people that are alive. I said people I'm fans of and enjoy and respect their work. Joyce is not someone I'm a fan of, and I don't respect her work, so she's not on the list. But all these, it seems like some of the people that I'm humongous fans of are just dropping dead all month long, and it's a little depressing. So if you weren't here today and then you didn't answer the phone, I would be worried I'd have to add you to the list, and then I got Shatner, and that's about it, because I'm not a fan of too many people.
I'm alive and kicking.
Oh my goodness!
Can't get me down.
It's just the holiday time is a deadly month. There's no doubt about it. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things, unless you had somewhere you wanted to go.
No, go ahead.
Did you see J.D. Vance's speech on Sunday?
I watched a little of J.D. Vance.
Oh my, J.D. Vance! I watched the whole speech because I was sick in bed watching. I couldn't get up. But this morning is my first time up on my feet for more than 5 minutes since Saturday. But his speech he gave at Turning Point USA was his presidential announcement speech. And it was really good. And he's obviously Trump has chosen him to be the political apprentice as his successor. So J.D. Vance is going to be the second MAGA president. There's no doubt about it. He was so good in this speech. He got the endorsement of Marco Rubio, too, who said that if he runs, he's not running, and he endorses him. And it was, the way I would describe it, it was a unity speech. And he was talking about all this divide in the conservative movement, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and all these infighting among these big-mouth conservative people. And about how poisonous it was, and in these ridiculous purity tests that MAGA people have to take every 5 minutes to maintain their MAGA status or to be Republican. It was such a good speech. It was so impressive. No doubt in my mind it was his presidential announcement speech. And then he did this thing that I missed. I had not seen this in the news. He did this 90-minute workout with the Navy SEALs, and I watched it. I would be dead. If he went, not only did he go through, he was tired when it was done, but he made it through the whole 90 minutes with the top Navy SEALs. I was blown away by it. I mean, he's definitely got a presidential campaign going. So, and out of everyone we have, he's the best equipped because he has a skill set that so few people have that really is a necessity to become president. When he speaks, even the people that hate him like him. He's just incredibly charming and very quick-witted. And that speech he gave on Sunday was just miraculous. The whole Turning Point event was miraculous. Do you know the story about the grandma from Target?
No.
Oh. This grandma, she works at Target part-time, and she was wearing a red Charlie Kirk shirt, and this liberal woman made a video of her just harassing this grandma. Are you effing stupid? What the F is wrong with you? Why the F are you wearing an effing shirt of an effing race? All this stuff. And she kept her cool, and, I'm sorry, ma'am, and, and all this stuff. And they welcomed her on stage at Turning Point USA. It was amazing. And then Nicki Minaj, big African-American top act, A-list celebrity singer came out and endorsed the president. I mean, it was just...
Yeah, that's a story.
I mean, it was just an amazing event. And, you know, all this talk that there's... Don't believe any of this talk that there's disunity in the Republican Party. There's disunity. The media are telling you that there's disunity, but the Republican Party has never been so united. And, you know, Scott Jennings on CNN over the weekend, this was a pretty funny thing he said. The Democrats' approval rating is about 17 right now. I mean, that's crazy, right?
If you push it.
Yeah, and he said basically their supporters are friends and family at this point. And you know, you look at everything that's going on right now, and you drive down the road, and at every corner you see a Trump MAGA campaign sign. It's the prices in front of the gas stations. I mean, it's like traveling back in time when you see the prices in front of the gas stations. The prices are so low, and they're still dropping, right? Still dropping. You know, and this election is ours to lose. We can win if we keep this momentum going that started at Turning Point USA over the weekend with J.D. Vance and the Target lady, and Erica Kirk did very, very good, and there were some poison people there like Tucker Carlson who berated everyone for their bigotry against Muslims. You know, and Ben Shapiro did some stupid things, and Megyn Kelly did some other dumb things. But Erica Kirk and Nicki Minaj and J.D. Vance, if we keep that kind of attitude and that kind of momentum, not only could we win, we could gain seats in both houses. You know, and this is not a normal midterm because the opposition party, their support has never been this low in a midterm, right? You know, and people are seeing that what Trump is doing is just beginning. And they know what went on those last 4 years with the lawfare, that if the Democrats win, not only will it stop this great momentum. I mean, look at this. We got the Christmas bonuses for the soldiers, right? $1,776. Right. Most liberals are trying to find out why such an odd number. They don't even understand the number. We've got our bonuses that all the taxpayers are going to get over the summer, right? We got, you know, and this thing yesterday, did you see Trump's press conference at Mar-a-Lago about the battleships yesterday?
That I did not see.
Oh. Yeah, being sick in bed has its advantages. You get to follow the news a little closer. As if I don't follow it close enough. But he had this great press conference introducing these two new battleships that he's building. They're Trump-class battleships. The first one's the USS Defiant. They're going to be the biggest, baddest battleships ever made that not only have nuclear weapons but also shoot laser beams. And he took some questions from the press, and we seized another oil tanker, which I've lost track. Have we seized 4 oil tankers? I can't remember.
3 was the last I recall.
3, 4. They asked him what he's going to do with the oil that they've. He says we're keeping it, and then he says, "Oh, by the way, we're keeping the ships too." And this is, this is absolutely amazing because
he turned us how to drive his opponents crazy.
Well, I don't know who owns the ships. Whatever company owns the ships, they don't own them anymore. The United States does, and these oil tankers are big ships. The oil alone is. You and I, if we had the oil from one of those ships, our descendants for the rest of time would never have to work. You know, and he says, I don't know, maybe we'll sell the oil, maybe we'll put it in the oil reserves, but we're keeping it, and we're keeping the ships too. And, you know, what a message that sends to these...
Yes, but there's no getting around it.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, all the momentum is on our side. And I was talking earlier, in December, usually the media take the month off. But they're not doing that this month because there's a new news cycle every day, sometimes twice a day, even on Christmas week. All right, listen, I'm going to
they're starting to realize they're in trouble.
Oh.
I mean, better late than never, but
they're in trouble.
It finally got through to them.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Oh, man. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Well, the last 45 minutes are going to be rough because I can't take my Dayquil again for a little while. I took my Dayquil at 6:30. It's every 4 hours, and it's wearing off. Thanks, Jasmine. Oh, man. I can feel it wearing off big time. Well, I don't have a big day ahead of me, so I can take it easy today, luckily. Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Barry, it's Brian.
Brian, good morning.
Hey there. I'm going to conference Steve in. Hold on. We got about 30 seconds. Hold on. All right, Steve, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so Barry, we'll be here tomorrow and Friday. So I don't know if you want to call in on those days or not.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, tomorrow and Friday. Okay. All right, stand by. 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Here we are 2 days away from Christmas, Barry. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, it's just that exactly. We're just couple days away from Christmas, about a week away from New Year's, and we're really in last chance territory. Last chance to follow through on your New Year's resolution for 2025. I know a lot of you wanted to get your estate plan up to date, or for those of you who don't even have one, to get one done, to get that checked off your list, to make sure that you and your loved ones are protected, and you don't have to worry about it, because with the Siegel Law Group, we do a free review for our clients every 3 years. So once you become a client of the Siegel Law Group, you're a client for life, and you don't have to worry, because our goal is to make sure that your plan, that your family's protected, and your plan is going to work for you from now until you actually need it at the time. If, God forbid, there's incapacity or when you're no longer here, that you and your loved ones will be protected, and that's really what it's all about. So we have, so you have the opportunity to call our office, at least get it on the calendar, even if you're not able to come in, if we're not able to get you in before the end of the year. If you take that action step and schedule, I'd say that you could check that off, that you did it for 2025. But the other thing, as I mentioned last time, Steve and Brian, is we are also giving you the opportunity to give the gift of peace of mind to your family. For example, you can give it to any family member. So all you need to do is to give this gift, call our office, and that is, you can give your loved ones $1,000 off of their estate planning, and all you need to do is call our office. To get this deal, it's $100. You just pay $100. We'll send you a certificate for your loved one for $1,000 off, and that's something you can do right now. For those of you who are still trying to figure out those last-minute gifts, this is a real meaningful gift. All right, well, listen, give the Siegel Law Group a call, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. That's 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. And Siegel is spelled S-I-E-G-E-L, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
All right, take care. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. You back with us, Steve?
Yes, I am.
All right. Now, if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. So anyway, so we're going through, before the break, all these amazing accomplishments of President Trump. And you look at what the Democrats are doing, and I'll just give you a couple examples. What they're doing are such stupid things. First of all, they're surrounding themselves around the Maryland man again, right? They got another judge, an Obama judge, who's got him sent home for the holiday. He gets to go home for the holidays to the family and his wife that he beat up. Isn't that nice of the judge? Oh, my goodness.
Very open-minded.
Yeah. And then I saw Mamdani. Did you see what Mamdani's doing for his inauguration? Oh, he's going to be sworn in by Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yes. Okay.
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 Which I don't understand what Bernie Sanders' connection is to New York City. He's from Vermont, but I guess he's a communist like Mamdani.
He's a communist socialist. That's the connection.
Yeah. And also...
Look no further.
Yeah. So next to him is going to be Letitia James is going to be standing there too. She'll probably be holding the the Quran. I'm assuming he's going to be sworn in on the Quran. So Bernie Sanders is going to hold think about this. The mayor of New York City will be sworn in to office holding the Holy Quran. I just can't even believe that is happening of all places.
It's delicious.
Oh, I know. It's as dumb can get. It really is. It really is. I mean, there's no. And then he had a press conference yesterday, and he has someone on his transition team that called for the death of Jews after the music festival attack. And
yes.
So what do you say to this? And Mamdani says, well, I'm against anti-Semitism, but we have a lot of different voices on my team. Oh, okay.
That does it for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. You're against anti-Semitism.
All my fears are allayed.
Yeah. I mean, come on. So the people that the Democrats, when they're at 17%, which is pushing it, and we're doing all these great things on our side, and they're surrounding themselves with the fake Maryland man, and Bernie Sanders and Letitia James and Mamdani. They're
what a team!
Oh my goodness!
What a rogues gallery!
So how can it be projected that we would not win the midterms? Oh, if we get a turnout, we'll win. The only thing that happened over the weekend that and maybe this is just because of my sickness and I'm missing something or not seeing things clearly. I don't understand what's going on with Stefanik. She dropped out of the governor's race in New York. She was polling ahead. President Trump immediately endorsed the other Republican who's apparently a strong MAGA candidate who polls well in New York. I don't know. But then Stefanik said she's not running for her House seat again. So I don't understand what's going on with Stefanik. There's something. She said it's spend time with their. Anytime a politician says they're not running for office to spend time with their family, there's scandal. None of them do that. That's an unheard of thing. So that's I don't know what's going on. Have you been following that at all?
Not closely.
No.
Not closely. I mean, New York, there's a limit to how thin you can spread yourself. And I've chosen to sacrifice the New York races. But, I follow the basic thing with Magnani and
Zohan.
Magdani. But
yeah.
It's going to be quite a show before it's over.
Well, if Mamdani is my guess would be with Mamdani, it's going to be almost a scandal a day in the New York Post. I mean, there's nothing he's going to do that's not going to be stupid. All right? I mean, there's just nothing.
And the Post is cutting them no slack at all. I
No.
mean, the Post turns every bonehead thing they do or say on the mayor's side. They give it all the exposure they can.
Yeah.
So he's not able to hide from anybody.
No, he's going to be it's going to be a scandal a day. And what's going on, and there's a new poll out that shows Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, there's a new poll out in the Republican primary, it's a lock. So Mike Lindell is going to be the Republican nominee for governor of Minnesota, and he'll be running against Tim Walz.
Wow.
So it'll be Mike Lindell versus Tim Walz. And
That's extraordinary.
and there's major arrests going on in Minnesota, and Tim Walz's attitude is, well, how dare you call us out on all this thievery? I mean, who do you think you are? Somalians got a right to steal. It's like that Woody Allen movie, right? Where else are they going to steal if they don't steal in Minnesota?
Exactly.
So Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, in any other year it'd be a rough run, but he's got a good chance of winning the general election in Minnesota this time. First off, he's got household name recognition. As famous as Mike Lindell is, he's got to be super famous in Minnesota.
Although he hasn't been seen that much lately. He's kind of been on hiatus.
I'm assuming he's going to be in a lot. Well, they have a media blackout on him. The media won't cover him, but I'm assuming he's going to be in a lot of local media in Minnesota. He's the favorite in that race because of this financial scandal. The financial scandals are getting worse every day, and Tim, believe me, follow the money. Tim Walz is too quick to dismiss it, not to be at the end at one point of the money train. There's just no way. Now, I want to tell you there's still time, right? And I know there's last minute Christmas shoppers. The Sloman's Home Security offer for a free home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. That's a great Christmas gift and at a great price too. And this makes a great gift to your adult children outside the house, grandma, grandpa, your parents, or yourself at home for your own family in your house. Your Sloman's Home Security System includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access so you can check in anytime no matter where you are in the world. Give them a call, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. We'll be right back after this. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve, for a minute. Hold on. Okay, Steve, you there?
I'm here.
All right, 90 seconds. Have you followed this 60 Minutes story?
Little bit.
All right, I'll bring it up because it's all over the news this morning. Okay. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Got a couple of stories I wanted to bring up to you. One of them is this 60 Minutes story, but I just wanted to tell you real quick. You know, our new tax guy, Jamie Levac from Swift Tax. Steve,
yeah, I saw him yesterday, as a matter of fact. He's terrific.
Oh, yesterday, even though I was out sick, I got out of my sick bed and recorded a commercial with one of our listeners who had met with him at Swift Tax. And you'll hear it. His name's Lewis. You'll hear it on the show this week or next.
Lori, by the way, spoke to me. Lori saw him yesterday, and she wants to do a spot for him. Lori does great spots too, so we'll get her in the mix.
Let me tell you, this guy is unbelievable, Steve. This listener of ours, Lewis, he had an accountant that he's had some issues with back taxes, and this accountant has been stringing him along for like a couple years. And hasn't gotten any, told him he owed all this money to the IRS. He went over and met with Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. And not only did the guy take care of his back taxes, not only does he not owe money to the IRS, he's getting some big checks. He's getting money back from the IRS. His other accountant told him that he owed money, and these are past years he went back on. So not only does he not owe the money, the IRS owes him. I couldn't believe it.
He's a miracle worker, Jamie is. He really is.
I'm not going to reveal too much about your situation, but I talked to your wife yesterday. She told me after she met with Jamie Levac from Swift Tax that
Right.
he picked up the phone and called the IRS while she was there. Got him right on the phone about whatever it was, which I'm not, I mean, it's the work that it's amazing. I mean, listen, guys, Jamie Levac can help you not just in Florida, but no matter where you're located with your taxes. Give him a call. The feedback I'm getting from our listeners is when you hear this new commercial that Lewis recorded, it blew my mind. It's amazing. 954.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, here. This is Jamie's direct number, by the way. This rings directly to Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. All right, so yeah, he's doing good stuff. Okay, you follow this thing with 60 Minutes interviewing the illegals from the El Salvadorian prison?
Yes, from afar. I'm not very, very well versed in it, but I know what you're talking about.
I'll give people just a little background, and I want to ask you if this was a mistake or not. Okay, Barry Weiss is the new head of 60 Minutes, and I don't know too much about her, but she's described as a conservative, and she killed the story that 60 Minutes had. 60 Minutes interviewed a bunch of illegals that were deported from the United States to that prison in El Salvador, and it was a story interviewing these illegals about how terrible conditions were for them, how they were abused and all this stuff. And she killed the story. Not only did she kill the story, they had promo packages ready, and 90 minutes before airtime, she killed the story. Wouldn't let them air it. And, of course, CBS people are ticked off because they're not used to having a boss, right? They're used to just being able to do whatever they want and put it on the air, right. and they've leaked stuff out. And, of course, the story isn't so much the story. It's that the Trump White House wanted the story killed, and Barry Weiss, she got the story killed, and she did this for the White House. I don't know how true that is or not. But it reminded me a little bit of the Lewinsky scandal. If you remember, the Washington Post had the entire story, including Linda Tripp interviews, that the president was having sex with a 21-year-old intern. And while it may seem like old news and not scandalous, it was scandalous at the time. And the Washington Post editorial board wouldn't run the story, so they leaked it to Matt Drudge, and he ran the story. So 60 Minutes is where news goes to die. I mean, it's not a place that breaks news, But this is now a story because Barry Weiss killed the story. So in hindsight, would it have been better to let them run the story or not run the story? You know, what do you think?
Oh boy, I have no opinion on that.
How can you not have an opinion? If they would have,
I'm not familiar enough with the story.
Well, I'm telling you, if they would have run the story on 60 Minutes, no one would have known about the story, because no one, and it was an anti-Trump administration story. No one watches 60 Minutes. Nobody cares what they say, and they're identified as liberal hacks anyway. So if you even heard about it, people would do. Now that they've got this conservative woman running CBS News, killing the story. It's a story. And of course they're going to use this to try to get rid of her. So, you know, I don't have an answer for you either, but my opinion is it's nice to have some accountability from people in charge. The news media have just been running amok, broadcasting without any responsibility, whatever it is that they want to broadcast. And, you know, for an American news outlet to do a story interviewing prisoners from this El Salvadorian prison and accusing us of doing something illegal because they're mistreated in prison is un-American. I mean, it's not news reporting. It's liberal activism to try to hurt the president and the Trump administration. But Kristi Noem gave this incredible offer, upping the money that they'll give illegals over the holidays. Now they're offering illegals $3,000 if they self-deport. Yeah, if you self-deport, they're going to give you $3,000 and one-way passage to your country. You know, $3,000 goes pretty far in these third world countries.
What a deal!
It's like winning the lottery, you know. And you know the 60 Minutes story. I think it's good that they killed it, but I just don't know if the way it's being handled is a positive net or negative. It probably is, because it really exposes the media for what they are. They're hacks. But you know, these people in the fake news media, you know, when they're dealing with Republicans, they do believe we're Nazis. They believe it. Okay, it's not like they're just throwing the term around. They believe in their heart that we're Nazis, even though Barry Weiss, I think, is Jewish.
They have an illness. They have an illness.
Trump derangement syndrome.
That's the illness.
But
there's a lot of what's wrong today.
You know, the liberals really have nothing short of a fetish for these illegal criminals. It really is borderline fetish, if you think about it. I mean, you know, they just, you know, and the criminals that they're highlighting in these stories, like the Maryland dad, these are hardcore Trend A and MS-13 gangbangers. I mean, these are not.
Well, he certainly is. The Maryland dad certainly is. That's for sure.
Well, he's a slave you know. Human trafficking is slave trafficking, right? So if you're transporting these illegals across state lines, you're transporting slaves. And what the Democrats are doing is supporting modern day slavery. I hope they stand up against the media, and even Megyn Kelly, which shows what a phony she is. Even so-called conservative media like Megyn Kelly are jumping on this attack train of Barry Weiss, the conservative head of CBS News, that this was wrong. It's not news just because they say it is. And you just can't put anything on the air that you want to put on the air on a major network. You know, there's bosses. I don't know how this story came to be. Maybe it was done before she took over, right? Because she just took over, or they did it before she was fully in and didn't know exactly what was going on in the different news divisions. But this idea that news people could just put together any story they want and run it, regardless of what their bosses say, that's just not the way it works in the real world, at least not anymore. But the problem they're running into is the people that were their bosses in the past were all like-minded, right? You know, I was reading this story over the weekend. This guy, he's a Hollywood writer, and he got a job. Him and his buddy, they got a job on the writing staff of a television show. He wouldn't say what this happened recently. He wouldn't say what television show it was because he doesn't want to fully burn his bridges. But right before they were supposed to start work, they got a call. And they says, we have to let you go. There's too many white guys on the writing staff. And they didn't even hide the fact that they were, it's racial discrimination.
Yeah.
And the liberals in this country, the path that they were taking us on, if Donald Trump had not won re-election, is really a scary and dangerous path. And, all these stories that are coming out, whether it's the CBS story, the story I was talking about with the Hollywood writer, every story that comes out every single day, we're getting more and more people red-pilled because the absurdity of the positions of the left, like this, I was shocked.
The only thing is you can't rely on that because if we lose the midterms, I don't want to, dampen this I don't want to spoil the party, but what is it they say, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
If they take over the House, all our ability to create what we've created over the last year is going to disappear.
They'll impeach Trump every Friday if they take over the House. It'll become a Friday
I
affair.
watched Al Green on C-SPAN last night. What a trip.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen Al Green?
Yeah. He's a nut.
He was giving his impeachment speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can't wait. He's foaming. Yeah, he's foaming at the mouth over it. But that,
you ever want to see a mature case of Trump derangement syndrome? Al Green is it.
Well, we've never had Republicans stand up for our platform in the past. Never. They always have caved, and the Democrats have been able to intimidate every single Republican that's held office before Trump. So we've never had not Reagan, Bush's, none of them. Nixon, they ran Nixon out of the White House, right? We haven't had a Republican ever stand up to them, and they're like spoiled children. They can't handle the word no. Now, I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I first started with them in January, so it's been almost a year since I first met with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. So for most of 2025, I've been in the maintain phase. My goal was 25 pounds. I lost over 35. And the maintain phase is absolutely amazingly easy because I didn't have big lifestyle changes, right? No exercise, ate foods I would normally eat, no pills, no injections, none of those crazy medications you hear about all the time. And I've kept the weight off. I haven't gained a single ounce. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you no matter where you are located in the United States. Give them a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossSecret.com. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break and be back with the Gold Report and then your calls. Don't go anywhere. All right, Steve, I'm going to put you on hold. Hold on. Okay, there's only one opening on the board, guys.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
Oh, gotta call back.
Your call has been forwarded to an audio. Your call has been forwarded.
Hello? 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 All right, hold on. William, are you there? Oh, I can't get Youngerman. Hold on, try him again.
Can you hear me?
I got you. Okay, stand by, William.
What happened yesterday?
I was out sick. They didn't call you?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were supposed to call you. I apologize. We're going to be here tomorrow and Friday.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. They were supposed
Call
to
me.
call you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, stand by. Hold on. All right, Steve, you there? Steve? Okay, stand by. Steve, you there? Okay.
So this is Richie.
Hey, Richie, hold on. All right, William, you there? William? I'm having a disastrous day.
Hello.
Hey, William, sorry about that. We're coming back right now. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals looking amazing, Brian, as we hit all new record highs for gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Everything is through the roof this morning and yesterday. Yesterday we saw gold close out the day at $4,442.60, which was up $105. Today, overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $4,442 all the way up to $4,499. And we're currently at $4,490 right now, up $47.40. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Good. And silver, up $1.57 right now at $70.55 the ounce. $70 silver, folks.
Oh.
And platinum up another $82 at $2,205. That's more than doubled since our recommended buy this year when it was $900. Palladium up $43 at $1,800 the ounce. So gold nearing $4,500 right now, and silver $70.55.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I was just asking you on Friday, do you think we're ever going to hit $70 silver? And here we are. Oh, man. Now, we're 2 days away from Christmas. You have some great Christmas gifts over there. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, we have all of the gold and silver coins in stock in all different sizes and shapes, and a lot of which make really nice Christmas gifts. So we're recommending everybody give gold and silver for Christmas this year. Don't even look at jewelry. Just think in terms of something that is a real great store of value that will last for a long time.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. And are you open today and tomorrow, normal hours?
We're open till 5 today, and tomorrow at least till 1 o'clock. Give us a call. before you come.
Okay, but we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, or stop in. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both his address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right,
Thanks.
You too. All right. Oh, boy, guys, this is some amazing times. Okay, I lost Steve, but I'm going to get Steve back. And if you're on hold, stand by. And, Steve and I will take the calls when we get back here in just a moment. All right, you back with us, Steve?
Did I miss the gold report?
Oh, my goodness, did you ever? It's all good. Silver broke $70, Steve. Oh, my goodness.
I could see it coming.
Oh, my goodness. I was just asking William on Friday. I said to him, like, early last week, I said, hey, William, silver's looking, we're over 60. Is this a time to turn silver into gold? He says, no, hold. And I said, well, do you think it's going to get to $70? And here we are. Right, less than a week later, and we broke the $70. All right,
what about the other metals?
Everything is up and on fire. All right, let's take some of these calls, Steve. We got almost a full board here, so let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian. Hey, Steve. Ivy.
Hey.
It's amazing. It's amazing how contradictory the Democrats are. If you have a kingpin drug dealer living in a mansion somewhere in the United States, and the DEA or the ATF go and seize it after all the evidence is gathered, wouldn't they not sell the properties and the cars and the jewelry at an auction? So why shouldn't Trump be able to take a boat that is delivering oil to not only Cuba, China, and terrorists, and all of those people don't like us? Why should we not take the boat? I don't remember what the law is. When Biden was in power, he didn't enforce. Those ships should not even be on the ocean itself. Besides, some of those names are not really registered to do what they're doing. So what Trump is doing is enforcing laws that Biden simply did.
I thought that was amazing when, I don't think he really thought about what he was going to do with the oil and the ships until the reporter asked. And he says, we're keeping the oil and the ships too. And he might have just decided to do it right then. And what did the reporter expect him to do with the oil? We're supposed to continue it on to ISIS? What did he want to do with it?
I think Trump was just being more legal. So before he gets the okay to say why he has the ability to seize the ships, is why I say what I said. He has to just make it more plain, because the Democrats are going to say you can't do that, and we know that that's not the fact, because they have not been enforcing drug laws since Reagan, like we talked about. Okay, so what he's doing, and when we talk about building the new ship, if you guys never saw sink the Bismarck, just go back and look at a World War II movie with the Bismarck ship, how big and massive it is. This ship is going to be bigger and badder.
Bigger than the Bismarck.
They cannot just go into Greenland and do what they want. It's a sovereign country. But why are they circling it like great white sharks? Okay, why are they doing that? Why are those two particular countries with their ships passing in the night, and all you can see is lights going in the night? So what we need is that deterrent. Even though we have submarines in the vicinity, we need that big deterrent, a physical thing you can see on the ocean. Even though we have the aircraft carriers, they are busy doing things still in the Persian, Yemen, and other places, Somalia.
Oh, hey, listen, Ivy, I agree with everything you said there. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Rich.
I gotta say something. Brian gets up at 2:00 in the morning, sometimes 1:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Does all his research.
Yes.
Very well informed.
But
I listen and no, you didn't do it. No, politically, I'm in line with Brian, and I watch a lot of stuff on TV, and I watch a lot of stuff on the internet. I cannot stand any longer to sit back and see it every Sunday, and I watch it, and I say this is the Trump attack hour, and that's this week on ABC.
Oh, it's the worst.
With George Carl George Carl, Donna Brazil, the liar, and the worst of all, the fat blob, Chris Christie, attacking Trump on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then they got a female lawyer in there that's supposed to be a Republican who attacks Trump because the name was changed on the Kennedy Center, and she says that's against the law. It's so ridiculous. They gaslight every Sunday, and I sit back and I watch this crap, and it's being fed to the American people. It's an alternative universe.
Yeah.
They're not living
And
in today's
you know, and the Kennedy
universe.
Center, was practically condemned. It was in such disrepair, and Trump rebuilt the whole thing. Where was? And I can't remember who said it. Was it President Trump or Jennings on CNN? Where have the Kennedys been all these years when the Kennedy Center was falling down?
And not only that, they said, can you imagine Trump putting his name on a president who was assassinated? I mean,
he was shot too.
Chris Christie. You know, not for nothing, Chris Christie, I'm so glad that he hugged Obama, because this guy might have been president of the United States as a Republican. What a slime bug. I mean, it's really ridiculous.
When he hugged Obama on the beach, it was like Dudley Moore and Bo Derek in 10. That was the end of his career.
Yeah. Hey, do you watch that crap on Sunday, Steve?
Yes, most of it.
It's tough.
I got to tell you something. When Meet the Press is more to the center than ABC, there's something wrong. I mean, not for nothing. They both attack Trump, but this Channel 10's got to go. If people believe this, they sit down and I watch it and I'm aggravated before it even starts because I know it's an attack Trump hour.
Yeah.
They're
all that way.
And then they put Republicans on there. Yeah, you see the Republicans they put on there? Rand Paul, who attacks Trump, or the other congressman who wanted these Epstein files released, the Republican with the beard. They never put somebody that's in line with Trump. They know it's ridiculous. Jonathan, whatever his name
And you know,
is,
I tell you,
he's the Carl.
this thing about the Epstein files. There's a story today that Bill Clinton's spokesperson is calling on more pictures of Bill to be released, right? And these pictures are pretty bad. You know what I think's going on?
Oh yeah.
I think Hillary Clinton is controlling the spokesperson, and Hillary Clinton is so pissed off at Bill again that she's got the spokesperson for Bill Clinton calling for the release of more photographs of Bill with Epstein. It just makes no sense.
One of those pictures, he was in a pool, and you could see a young girl.
That girl's young.
Out.
That girl was young.
Yeah, blacked out.
The one with Ghislaine.
Yeah. Oh my God! These people, you know, and it's hurting President Trump because what they're doing. As far as I'm concerned, release the whole damn thing. They're worried about the victims. The victims are the ones making the big stink.
That's
right.
I
mean, it's not for nothing, but enough. Let it all out right away, because as long as it's drip drab like this, it's hurting President Trump, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the Epstein files. It should be the Clinton files, because he's in every picture.
Listen, the Epstein the Epstein cult will never be satisfied. There'll never be anything that comes out and say, "Okay, we got it." They're always going to claim that things are dripping out and there's nothing there, and
they'll always get us to buy into the discussion.
Exactly.
Keep it going forever.
That's their main objective.
Yeah,
all right,
well,
Richie, we got to run.
O'Connor.
We're out of time. The rest of you on hold, stand by, because we'll be back tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so tomorrow we'll handle it like a Friday, so it'll be open phones, because it's kind of like a Friday, and today's kind of like a Friday, or maybe like a Sunday. Who knows? So the kids are out of school, a lot of people off work. But tomorrow, Christmas Eve, we will be here live, and we'll also be live on Friday, okay? At least I will. We'll be live tomorrow and Friday. Since I was out sick yesterday, we're going to work the day after Christmas, even though it's a national holiday, courtesy of our president. But tomorrow will be like a Friday, so it'll be open phones on tomorrow's show. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig. The Dayquil got me through, Steve.
Told you so.
Oh my goodness, Dayquil's pretty good. Not NyQuil, Dayquil, because it doesn't make you sleep. The Dayquil. I don't like the NyQuil.
It's the difference between day and night.
Oh my goodness, I know. It got me through the whole show. I'm as sick as a dog, but God bless America. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. All right, we're clear. Oh boy, I did not think I was going to get through that show, guys. Listen, thanks so much. The show went by fast. We were on 3.5 hours. I should have just done the 3 because I am getting tired. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. And if you guys could take the link to the stream and share it on your socials and invite your friends and followers to check out the program, I'd appreciate it. All right, take care. I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.